time to be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over. Not tired, I'm inspired, rewired. I know just what is required. My brain knows how to decipher the messages, looking brighter. Already paid up the piper, my game is getting much tighter. I feel my body on fire. Now it's game time. All the practice to prepare for this main time. I could do anything, that's my baseline. Go ahead and do you, I'ma make mine. You gon' read me in the headlines. Always go up, I don't know a decline. On the glow up, getting better with time. Yeah, I'm about to hit my prime.
The air is filled up with suspense. We've got our dreams we must defend, and we know what we represent.
So we'll keep fighting till the end, and we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end, and we'll keep fighting till we win. This is our calling, this is our calling. Yeah, we'll keep fighting till the end.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Sunday morning show. We are back. Football is here. Thank God. We've been waiting forever. And I'm here with my guys, Philly Halftime, Tone from Philly Sports Rap, Mac the Giants fan, and Football Talk with Bo. How's everyone doing? And then we got
Great.
Tim from Sports Talk with Dad. How you doing over there?
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
No, you're all good. We actually started a little bit late, so.
Glad to hear that.
Hey, I'm glad you could be here, man. Glad you could be here. Love your content.
Thank you. Like yours. Love yours as well.
Oh, appreciate it. So, the NFL is back. I am ready for the game. Let's get it. That is right, Vic. That is right. And
What up, Vic?
you-
What's good, Vic?
Make sure you guys subscribe to everybody. I'm going to put their links out throughout the whole show, so make sure you like and subscribe. So let's kick it off. I want to kick it off with Bo here, and let's talk about Joe Burrow getting paid. 5 years, $275 million, $219 million guaranteed. So, Bo, let the people know about your channel and what do you think about this, man?
Yeah, so my channel, it's Football Talk, or Football-Talk here on YouTube. And, of course, you can see me on various other networks all the time. Joe getting paid made absolute sense. They had to get it done. He didn't get as much guaranteed as I thought he might. But at the end of the day, this is the first time in a long time that the Bengals have been a viable team. They've spent so much time at the bottom of their division that it's nice to see them competitive. Burrow adds that element to this team. The thing I worry about with this team moving forward, though, is that defense. So I'm looking forward to seeing what their newer pieces kind of bring, because otherwise that defense might be a problem.
Yeah. So, hold on one sec. Tim, why don't you give your 2 cents about Joe Burrow and let the people know about your channel?
All right. Well, the channel is Sports Talk with Dad. Very proud to say we just passed 65,000 subscribers. So again, as always, please join, subscribe.
Amazing.
We started right about 18 months ago, and the idea was to look at sports from a generational point of view. My son Kyle and I do the show, and we've appeared on a lot of other channels as well, and we really love doing that. Kyle calls Joe Burrow football Jesus, which is a little sacrilegious, but he's a fan. He keeps trying to give him the Ohio State tag, and I keep reminding him he's an LSU guy.
Right.
The Bengals had to pay him. When I saw the injury over the summer, I thought his Achilles was gone, to be honest with you. Just the way he was rolling out and just went down. It's good to see that he's going to start today. The Bengals are the class of that division, and I think this is. I think the Bills are taking a big step back. this is the year for Joe Burrow to step up and probably get the Bengals over the hump and bring home a Super Bowl title.
All right. All right. Yeah. And Philly halftime. Let's go with you, man. How do you feel about Joe Burrow?
Yeah, they had to pay Joe Burrow, but can he stay healthy? He has a lot of problems. What's their offensive line going to look like? Offensive line has not been looking that good, and Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is the next Jim Kelly. I think he's overrated. He'll go to a couple Super Bowls, but he always will choke on it because he's just that hyped up, and that's all he's going to be.
Damn. Okay.
He can't keep running the way he does.
Hey, he's always getting hurt. He's the next Jim Kelly. He'll be the next Jim Kelly.
Well, that's a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, most people think that. I think.
I didn't say I didn't knock him. He didn't get a Hall of Fame career. He's not getting a Super Bowl. He'll be there probably 4 times. But he ain't winning.
Those championship rings are pretty tight too, though.
He won't win a Super Bowl.
All right. All right. Let's go with Tone. So, Tone, how do you feel about Joe Burrow getting paid?
Oh man! All right, so I'm over here trying to pregame, y'all. So, but I definitely feel that Joe Burrow, he deserved money. I just feel like these numbers are outrageous for quarterbacks and whatnot, man. And it's really going to hurt teams. They don't have that Howie type GM that know how to work them numbers, because it's going to be hard to keep everybody around you. Eventually, your young guys going to got to get paid, and you paying a guy, you know what I'm saying, 40 and 50 million, man. It's just crazy. It's the numbers just went through the roof. But yes, he deserved to get paid, but jeez.
Right.
But with the new TV deal, is this going to be out of line?
I don't know.
In the next couple of years, probably not.
Nah, because the TV deals are going to go up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah. And then, Mac, give your 2 cents.
Well, I mean, he's Joe Burrow, man. We already know the skill set of Joe Burrow. He's obviously was deserving of this contract based on what the other guys have been getting paid. He was next in line. It was his turn. He's now the one that set the new bar. Trevor Lawrence goes out there and does what he's expected to do, what people expect him to do. He'll be setting a new bar probably as early as next year. So, I mean, that's just how it works. We know how it goes down in the NFL with these quarterbacks, these franchise guys, and you got to protect your investment. And Joe Burrow is definitely one hell of an investment for the Bengals, and I have to respectfully disagree with you halftime. I think Joe Burrow at Super Bowl is in the near future for Joe Burrow, man. He's just that damn good.
But
I mean, it'll have to be soon, though. It'll have to be soon, because otherwise he's going to start losing guys around him because of that payday.
Hey,
True.
everybody's going to disagree with me on that one, and I understand it, because everybody just rides that guy's coattail. Just like this back in the day, they did it to Jim Kelly. I mean, come on, 4 straight Super Bowls and couldn't win one?
Yeah, but he ran into the NFC East, man.
No, come on. Come on. Jim
Right.
Kelly couldn't get it done, and now you're going to watch Joe Burrow not get it done. Unless he gets an offensive line, not going to happen.
yeah. So for me, I was just about to say that, but halftime took my thunder.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. It's the offensive line that worries me, man. I mean, he beat the Tennessee Titans in getting sacked 7 times. I mean, who does that? He sacks 7 times and then wins it.
But that's to the point. They've got to get him some offensive line help, or he's not going to be around very long.
Right now, yeah, you're right. He's being sustained by his weapons right now. The O-line has been terrible, and it's a good thing he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and guys like that he can get the ball out to, and they can still kind of help hide the deficiencies on that O-line.
All right, now let's go to the next one. It's a Thursday night football game. The Detroit Lions defeat the Kansas City Chiefs 21-20. So let's go with halftime here. What was the main reason why they lost? Give me one reason why they
I'm
lost.
just
Kelsey.
reason.
Hey, Mac, I'll go to you next.
give you a lot of reasons, but the main reason was Kelsey wasn't there. Kelsey wasn't playing, so every time Kelsey's on the field, he's getting double covered. Let's be honest. He's a wide receiver being as a tight end, and when Kelsey's not there, it showed that the weakness of the offense shows. There's your one answer, I guess.
All right, Mac. It's time, man.
Look, obviously, Travis Kelsey is probably one of the largest reasons why biggest reason. Obviously, you can't. It's hard to replace a talent like that when you lose them out your lineup, especially 2 days before the game. But at the end of the day, I'm going there. Kadarius Toney, man, spending too much time on social media trolling the New York Giants all summer, man. Instead of getting in that Chiefs playbook, man, and those hands, those brick hands of yours, bro. Look, Patrick Mahomes is putting it right where it needed to be, man. He just didn't have a competent group of receivers out there. Other than that, the rookie had a good night, man. The one that scored the touchdown, the first touchdown.
Yeah,
He
right.
had a really good night. Yeah, Rice, he was nice. Other than that, though, the rest of the guys were kind of a letdown most of the night, and it's just how the cookie crumbles. Even the great Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean, couldn't work with that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Bo, give me your reason why.
Yeah, I mean, not having Jones on the field was a huge thing. They had very little pass rush against Goff, so that definitely affected them. Obviously, Kelsey being gone, and Tony swatting the ball away like it's a bee coming after him. It was ugly. It was ugly. It reminded me of the late 90s, early 2000s Seahawks where they just couldn't catch anything. So, but one of the biggest things, honestly, I think they could have overcame Tony and no Kelsey if they had any semblance of a pass rush.
that's a
Yeah.
good point.
And then, Tone.
Man, I know one thing. They sure got me off on the wrong foot with this football pool. That's for damn sure. Definitely didn't pick the Lions. If I had known earlier before I turned my sheet in, I probably would have picked them if I known Kelsey wasn't going to play. Because like my man Bo said, man, without Kelsey, and even had time, without Kelsey, man, it's a different team. They struggling, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have that. To me, they got a lot of decent to good wideouts. They don't have that Tyreek Hill anymore. They don't have that big standout wideout that you really fear. It's their scheme. It's Kelsey being able to, get so much attention that allows other people to get off. And without him, their offense is struggle, even with the great Mahomes back there, man. And where's the running game? Why they don't run the ball? Like it's just they just real pass happy when right now, Kelsey ain't playing. I figured they should run the ball. You got Edwards-Helaire, you got Pacheco, you got McKinnon, like committee.
Yep. And then,
I agree.
Yep. And then Tim.
I'm the guy who picked the Lions to get to the playoffs last year. I was a year wrong. I actually did pick them in the pool, even when thinking that Kelsey was going to play. So I'm off to a good start there.
Yeah.
But the Lions I think they're going to be better this year. I think they're going to win the NFC North, my prediction.
Mhm.
Because they're just a class of that division, and they showed a lot towards the end of last year. Kansas City being healthy wins that game going away, though, on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, what you said. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good here.
I was just gonna say what Philly sports rap said about the running game. That was true. They definitely abandoned the run game way too early in that game, man. They should have leaned on it a lot more. Because without Kelsey out there, and the group of guys you had at receiver last year, at least they had Juju Smith-Schuster, who might not be the greatest, but he's a very much a competent receiver in this league.
Yeah.
And they had guys like that, McCole Hardman and stuff like that. They should have definitely leaned more on the run game. Great point. Now you brought up there.
Yeah. So for me, the main reason I got to go with halftime is Travis Kelsey, because once he's there, you get to see the corners come in. You get to see everyone triple teaming him. Then Tony's open. Then you have all these guys open.
I mean, Tony being open didn't matter.
I don't
You
think
ain't lying.
that's
He
gonna
dropped
matter for a
everything.
while. I don't think that's gonna matter for
I'll
a while.
I'll say this: if he didn't hear the pitter patter of feet, he might have caught it because you look like when you see him try to catch the ball, he's looking like when am I going to get hit? Like he was always worried about getting smacked.
You know,
Yeah.
I always think that is just dumb because you're going to get hit either way. You might as well catch the ball.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you get paid to do.
It's alligator arms. It's just that's how it is. I don't know what is wrong with them, but they worry about getting hit. It's like just take the hit. Just brace yourself, get ready for the hit, and call it a day.
I mean, yeah. And here for the next one, this guy always likes to sack the quarterback, and that is Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa got paid 5 years, $170 million extension. So let's start with Tone. How do you feel about Nick Bosa getting paid?
I think he just pretty much fucked the Eagles, man, because that means Hassan Reddick got to get paid, bro. He's after this season is going to be money talk because we only signed him, on a short-term deal. And he just raised the bar for DNs, and now you're talking about Bosa, and if you match his numbers with Hassan Reddick numbers, they're right there. Hassan Reddick is constantly getting sacks. I don't know why he don't get enough more credit than what he gets, and I think it definitely gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. He got paid. I mean, you can't argue how good he is, but it just again every time that happens, it raised the bar for the next guy up to get signed.
Yeah. Mac.
I mean, Nick Bosa is well deserved. I mean, defensive player of the year, which I predicted a year ago. I got video footage of that evidence. Yeah, I mean, he deserved that money. I mean, it is what it is. That's the nature of the beast. This nature of this business, man. Guys setting the bar every year, man. Somebody else is going to do it, like you said. Next guy up's going to set the bar again, and it's just going to just keep building and building. But Nick Bosa definitely deserved it. 49ers defense, as good as it is, it's not the same without Nick Bosa out there, man. So they need to get that deal done, and they can good move by them.
Tim.
The 49ers are the class, along with the Eagles of the NFC. Bosa being part of that team was not even, should they do it, shouldn't they do it? They had to do it. Worth every penny of it. I wish we were in Green Bay. But, he's going to be the dominant player in the NFC, probably the NFC player of the year. So along with Purdy coming back, San Francisco is going to give the Eagles, is the only team, I think, really that's going to give the Eagles a huge run in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Bo.
Yeah, I mean, you had to pay him, and of course, you're not paying a quarterback, right? So they have some money to move around. They are going to run into some trouble next year, though, because a lot of those contracts that they put together start paying out next year. So if there was ever a real push to try and get it done, this is probably that year for the Niners, because they will have to start shedding some talent starting next year just to, stay under the cap. But, I mean, you had to pay the guy, right? Defensive player of the year. I mean, dude's a stud out there. He's a difference maker every time he's on the field. So you got to pay him. You got to have him on your defense. And if they could just sign a couple more huge contracts so they can dismantle themselves, that'd be great as a Hawks fan.
Yeah. And then halftime.
Yeah, you had to pay him. I mean, like everybody's been saying, he's the difference maker on the field. And when he's not there, you notice when he's not there. You definitely notice a difference when he's not there, and everybody's like, yo, where's he at? Why is he hurt? Or whatever happened to him. Like, they're like, it's a concern. So, yeah, you had to pay the man. Did you overpay him? I didn't like to see that big contract because I agree with Tone. It's going to hurt the Eagles. But, you had to pay him. But now it's going to hurt when they go try to sign T. Higgins, and they got to try to sign a lot of other guys. And it's going to hurt them forward because they don't have all that money on their contract on their salary cap. So you have to look at it that way too. And I don't know if they're looking at it that way.
Yep. Yo, what's up, AK? How you doing, man? Good morning.
Yo, what's up, buddy? Hey, sorry guys, I overslept. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's
24.
Sunday. It's Sunday. But
It's
real
good,
quick,
AK.
man. Real quick, AK. Give me your thoughts on Nick Bosa getting paid.
He deserves it, dude. He's the top premier pass rusher in the league. He deserves all the money that he gets, man. I know it's a lot of money, but the 49ers need to pay him, man. He's a big part of that defense.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. Let me go right here. And then for me, it's just like I didn't want. Okay, I kind of did want them a little bit to go through like Kansas City's going through, with everything with Chris Jones. So that's what I wanted. But hey, that's not going to happen. So the guy deserves his money. He's probably going to be up there for Defensive Player of the Year with Reddick again. So there is that. So actually, AK, let's scroll back a little bit, and I want to get your thought. Give me your reason why Kansas City lost. If you can come up with the reason, if it was like Travis Kelce or Kadarius Toney, whatever you want.
It's the second one. I mean, listen, man. Kansas City had 3 chances to get back in this game. The Lions literally gave it to them. I know the Lions look good. I know they won by 1 point, but they shouldn't have won that game. Like, Tony had 3 catches he dropped that easily could have changed this game in another direction. And yeah, man, I must say it was definitely the wide receivers, and Kels not playing in that game is why he lost. If he had Kels, they win. That's almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I knew the Lions were going to be good, and I picked Kansas City because I don't go against Pat Mahomes. But yeah, you can't help Pat right now, dude, because he's trying to polish turds over there, and you can't do that. So
Yeah. Welcome back, Dave.
Yeah, sorry, I had a little technical difficulty, man.
No,
So sorry.
you're all good, man. You're all good. Since
but real quick, I'm blaming on Andy Reid too, because how the hell do you not use Valdez Scantling? You use him in the first 2 drives. He's your only guy catching the football, and then he disappears the rest of the game.
Good
All
point.
All right. So the 49ers, they're going to play Pittsburgh Steelers. So here's my question. Who will have a better game, Nick Bosa or TJ Watt? Who will have a better game? Tim, let's start off with you.
I'm always going to side with the guy from Wisconsin. So I think TJ Watt has something to prove this year. He's back. The Steelers are going to be very dangerous this year. I actually think they win the North. Bosa's going to have an impact on that team. Quarterback situation for San Francisco is still up in the air. I think if Darnold is forced into action at all this year, they've got a solid backup. I've had that injury Purdy had and had to have the surgery. It's not an easy comeback from that. I mean, that ulnar nerve affects everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I think Kenny Pickett is making strides. We did an episode where we actually compared the ball from college to the NFL. There's a reason he's wearing gloves. He and I have the same size hands. It's hard to grip. And when it gets colder, he's going to have a fumbling problem at some point in his career. But in this game, I'm going to give the edge to the Steelers. I think they eke out the victory on this one.
Hey, Coach Ed, thank you for stopping by, man. And Bo, give me your take.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with TJ Watt having a bigger impact. I actually have him as the Defensive Player of the Year probably this year.
Yeah.
I think the Niners get it done. I think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be as close as Vegas has it. I think Vegas has it at like 2.5 points. So I think it'll be a little bit bigger margin of victory. But yeah, the Steelers are going to get better for sure. They are moving forward. I like a lot of the young pieces they have. I just don't think they're quite there yet.
Halftime.
I got to go with TJ Watt. I think everybody should just go TJ Watt. Until that dude proves everybody wrong, he's just a beast. And, I got Pittsburgh winning the game, so even though I don't trust their quarterback, he has a big question mark on his plate, but TJ Watt, he's just a beast. Can't deny that one. Even when he was hurt.
Right. Mac.
Well, look, you talking about two phenomenal talents here, man. Obviously, we were just talking about Nick Bosa, but I'm going with T.J. Watt here, just because Nick Bosa just got there, man. He just got, got to get his body conditioned. That's a real thing, man. And T.J. Watt's been there through all the offseason process. It has been no issues. He's been there with the team. Mike Tomlin was one of the coaches that actually played his guys in the preseason quite a bit more than most other teams. So T.J. Watt's ready to go out there, really ready to go, and he's going to make an impact, I believe. And it's no slight on Nick Bosa, but Nick Bosa is probably going to take a week or two to really get himself back to full form. So that's for that reason, it's going with T.J. Watt.
All right. Tone. Tone, you're muted.
My bad. Yeah, I'm a mainly go with TJ Watt, man, because like you said, Nick Bosa, he just getting back. However, I think the biggest difference is going to be that the 49ers right tackle ain't gonna be able to block him. I mean, Hassan Reddick caused a problem over there. I mean, we had a lot of, we was able to create a lot of pass rush, but TJ Watt a different animal, man. That joker is the truth. I don't think they're gonna have nobody to block him. But maybe the coach gets smart and they chip him or something to help out because they're gonna be worried about Brock Purdy. That's the only way I see him not having an effective game. But if they leave him one-on-one, he's gonna wreck this game.
Yeah, and AK, I think I know where you're going.
Well, dude, I have to go TJ Watt. All I do is talk about TJ Watt. I think TJ Watt's better than JJ Watt. Listen, man, I really like Nick Bosa, but I can't forget that 2 years ago, TJ Watt sat here inside LT for the sack record.
Yeah.
Okay, and he did that with a defense that didn't. Highsmith was there, but now it's his counterpartner, and it is Highsmith, right? It's not Hightower. Which one is it? Highsmith or Tower? The other linebacker. I just want to get it right. But anyway, his compliment, dude. I'm telling you right now, I think TJ might get a chance to break that record this year. 2 years ago, he almost did it, but the third down that Mike Tomlin pulled him out, Hightower got a sack on it, and TJ didn't, or he would have broke it. So, yeah, man, I'm going TJ here.
All right. I think it's a clean sweep. I think I'm going TJ Watt as well. The Steelers' defense is just that much overpowered. And I have Watt. I definitely have Watt breaking the sack record this year. I definitely do. And actually, Bo, Kenneth Walker is playing today. So how do you think he'll do today? Let's start off with him.
So he's probably going to be on a pitch count, so to speak, right? Like I don't think they're going to be running him out real hard. He'll get snaps, but I would bet that the bulk of the carries are going to be by Charbonnet. Just because the last thing you want to do is run him out there too much, have him re-injure that groin, and then ultimately lose him moving forward. I would rather them kind of roll him back easy, give him some snaps, but don't push him too hard. Give Charbonnet that shot. I mean, it's there because there's other good backs in that room. DJ Dallas is a solid runner for him as well. I'd like to see them kind of limited use on Walker for today.
Yeah. And then Tim.
Sorry, I cut out for a second. Question?
Kenneth Walker's playing. How do you think he'll do?
He'll be a force. He won't. I don't think he's coming in like this. You got to get used to things. I think he'll have a decent game. but won't be the impact player he will be later on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tone, you muted again.
Muted again.
Hey, I keep forgetting I'm muting it to make sure I don't distract nobody else talking, with any kind of noise or anything. But
That's fair.
I don't know, man. I hope he do good because in one of my leagues I gotta miss my my running back.
I think I do too.
I would need him to be healed up and go out here and perform because before he got hurt or whatever, he was excellent running back. Underrated to me as far as explosiveness. You know what I'm saying? He definitely got some power. So I think he has the potential to be a great back. I don't know how he's going to do today. Like I said, I want to just see if he's going to be out there and be a little timid. Is he still going to run behind the pads? I don't know, but I'm hoping he does very well because he's in my lineup, my fantasy lineup.
All right, AK.
Yeah, man. Kenneth, he went off last year's rookie year, dude.
Yeah.
I think he is a very good halfback. Now, I like Charbonnet coming out this year as well. That is a very good combination of 1 and 2 right there at halfbacks. I scoffed at Seattle last year when they got rid of Russell Wilson, and I think we all did. I know I caught myself at the beginning of the year because Geno was the quarterback saying, well, they're screwed. Man, was I wrong on that one. I think he's going to have, first guy said, Bo, I think it was. I don't think they're going to use him that much. I think they will lean on Charbonnet. I mean, he is a rookie. They probably want to see what he's got, and save Kenny more for the playoffs. But we'll see here.
Mm-hmm. Halftime.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Bo too. I'm like, they're gonna put him on a pitch count. They're not gonna use him so much. They're gonna, but they gotta do good two-headed monster, and maybe they can just run him in and run him out. Maybe on third downs, maybe. Yes, he is going to play, but how good is he going to play? Is he still injured, or is he just, are they playing possum?
It's a groin injury, so those are always lingering.
Yeah, but I mean, they also lied to you too. They'll lie to another team saying, "No, he's still hurt, but he's fine."
All right, back.
Man, I agree with the panel, man, for the most part. There's no way. Pete Carroll's one of the best coaches in the league. There's no way he's going to just put his guy in harm's way. He's got to definitely get his feet wet. Got to get him back in good playing shape. Like I said, being in shape and being in football shape is two different things, man. He's got to get that body condition, and there's no way Pete Carroll's putting his guy in harm's way. I think you're going to come out there and you're going to lean heavily on the passing game with the receivers they got, the receiver threats they got, and they're going to depend on that defense, man, trying to bring back that Legion of Boom. So, look, I think we're not going to see a whole lot of Kenneth Walker today. He's just going to get his feet wet a little bit, a few plays here and there, a couple packages for him, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. For me, it depends on the offensive line and how well they're going to block Aaron Donald because they're playing against the Rams today. So it's just if they can stop him and they play Kenneth Walker to a point, I think he'll be fine. And just can't wait to see that man play. So I believe someone was talking about when we're talking about Kansas City, right? They don't have solidified number one. So do you think Mike Evans is getting traded? And if so, you think he'll go to Kansas City or where else? Halftime, let's start with you.
Well, if Mike Evans goes to Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes, and he also has freaking Kelsey, man, that'd be messed up. That'd be a great duel. But do I see Tampa Bay trading him? No, you just can't trade him. You can't trade that piece. You need to sign him to his extension. Stop playing kid games because he's your best wide receiver you got. I know you got Godwin, but he is the number one.
Right.
And if he gets 1,000 yards with friggin' their quarterback, I don't even know if they can do that. But if he can get to 1,000 yards, because that's all he does, he always gets 1,000 yards. So Tampa Bay just can't trade him, and I don't even know how much you would get for him. It would be so much, you know what I mean? Everybody's going to want at least 2 picks, 3 number ones, or maybe 2 number ones.
Yep. AK, how about you?
Yeah, I just talked about this with my stepson yesterday because he's a Tampa fan. He's kind of disgusted about it because he's been there his whole career, but halftime is right, man. This guy is a baller. He has 1,000-yard career for the last 9 years. He's never been under 1,000 yards, and you got to look at the quarterbacks that have been throwing to him. Even before Jameis Winston, I think you had Josh Johnson. Who the fuck's Josh Johnson? Come on, man. This kid is probably the best wide receiver for the last 9 years. He's been going under the radar because of Hop and, all these other great wide receivers out there, and I understand it, man. But Mike Evans has quietly been just murdering people, and that's the issue. We're at the beginning of the year. Everyone's already used up their cap space for the most part. There's a few teams out there with a lot. But, what you're going to have to give up for him, is going to probably be a lot. And it's nothing that any of us who are contending right now even want to afford to lose. Halftime's right. I'm expecting probably 2 first-round picks for him, man. I get it. He is 31 or 32, I think. But the dude still balls. So, I don't know, man. If I was them, I'd probably wait till week 5, 6 to see what my record is before I even decide to move him at all. But we'll see.
All right, Tone.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Is this his final year, or has he got one more
This
year?
is his final year.
This being his final year, they do have the franchise tag they could do. To me, I don't know. I don't know if things is getting sour between the two, him and the organization, or what the issue is, because I don't understand how could you not give him an extension, because he's performed every year, no matter who the quarterback is. He's still performing, still make plays. And I feel like if it has gotten sour, they will trade him. I don't see them letting him walk. They'll trade him just to make sure they get something. He's definitely going to get it's definitely going to be worth a number 1 pick. His numbers prove it. How old is he?
He's got to be up there. What is he, like 20? I'll look it up.
Early 30s. He's not definitely like 31 or so, 32.
So maybe a second conditional first, you know what I'm saying, depending on how he does this year and how the team is looking at him with his age and how many years they're expecting to get out of him to better perform.
He's 30.
He's 30. Yeah, so I could see second, maybe conditional. It sucks. Howie been pulled a third for him. but yeah, man, I think they will trade him because of one, he's getting up there in age, and apparently they don't want to pay him.
Yeah, Mac.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like AK kind of was saying, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call him the best wide receiver, but at the same time, he's definitely the most underrated by not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely, when people talk about the great receivers in this league, his name always gets left off those lists. And but at the end of the day, I think the biggest problem here is going to be that just the Bucks asking prices, and people aren't going to be willing to give that up, man. I mean, you see what the Rams are going through right now with all just trading all their draft capital away all those for all those past years, and now they're trying to rebuild everything back up and try to get this thing back together. Teams ain't trying to go down that road, man. And just those first round picks, people don't like to get rid of them, man. They like to hold on to those things, man. And that's going to be the biggest problem with Mike Evans is just trying to just getting getting the real value for him, getting the true value. I think they're going to struggle, and then they're going to have a hard time getting their asking price. So they can either cut their ties and cut their losses and get the best whatever they can get, or risk losing him in the off season, man. If he just walks away and goes away, signs with somebody else in free agency. So that's just really the big issue, man.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is definitely legit. He's definitely great, but they're not going to get what they're looking for.
Nah. Bo.
Yeah, I mean, the deadline that Mike Evans had for Tampa Bay was, I believe it was Friday. It was a self-imposed get the deal done or we're not talking about it anymore. So when it comes to that end of it, it sounds like he's ready to test out free agency at the end of the year. So then it really comes down to whether or not they want to try and trade him. They're not going to get much for him because no matter what that deal is, it's going to be a sign and trade kind of setup. So, I mean, you're going to pick up a guy for part of a season, and then you're going to have to pay him whatever it is he thinks he wants. I don't know too many teams that are going to want to give up a draft pick for, a guy that you're going to have for, half a year maybe. I mean, obviously the guy is still balling out, and he's been able to do it with a variety of not top-notch quarterbacks. But, he is 30. That is a spot in the league where the viewpoint is receivers start to fall off. So he'll have a hard time getting the trade value that Tampa Bay would want and the money that he's probably going to want. But I don't see him in Tampa Bay after this year for sure.
Tim?
Yeah, I'm going to be a little contrarian here. I think he's going to end up being traded this year, unless Baker Mayfield looks great and they're in the playoff hunt, which I don't think they will be unless it's right at the edge. I could see him going to a New England if they're having a great year. I could also see him. The one team that's always a wild card is the Raiders. I've said it long ago that Garoppolo gets hurt. You're going to see Brady on the field before this year is out.
Yep.
I don't care what anybody says. I still think it's going to happen. I think it's a great story if he is for the NFL. And the owners will vote him to let him play. So I could see Evans on that, put him on the other side of Devontae Adams. Got the best receiving core in the league, one of the best you've ever seen in the league. So I think he does get traded towards the end. They're not going to get a first. They'll get a third conditional second. Somebody will pay that to take a flyer on him, see if they can close out the year with him.
All right. And Green Collar Tyler, how you doing, bro?
Doing good. Thank you for asking. So I think my opinion on the topic is going to sound similar to Tim's. It's going to be he's going to remain a Buck if they remain competitive for the season for the playoffs. But if they're lagging behind, I think they're going to try and trade him either a little bit before or at the deadline. Raiders, he says, always a wild card. You never know what they're truly going to do or how they're going to do this season. Patriots are an interesting team to look at just because we're trying to see if Mac Jones is going to start to step up a little bit more this year, if that's going to make them more competitive. I don't know if it's even going to be a possibility, but could we be looking at a team like the Jets to also try and make some sort of move for it? Do you think they can maybe make that kind of capital work? I'm not sure.
The Jets already got so much, bro.
I know, but it's going to come down, I think, to how well Rodgers does in the first half of the season before they make that before they pull a trigger on that.
Yeah.
But I think if the Bucks do poorly by trade deadline, he's going to be traded to any team that is in the playoff hunt in order to help round out that team and try and secure a long-term playoff push.
When is the trade deadline again?
October 31st.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, if it's by the trade deadline, he's still got some value for teams trying to contend.
Well,
I could definitely see it.
He's always going to have value because while he may not always be in the top 4 best receiver in the league, when it comes to the most consistent receivers in the league, he is in minimum top 5, but arguably the most consistent receiver in the league.
Right.
Throughout his entire tenure with the Bucks.
Yeah.
I agree definitely on that one. Very consistent.
And that's why I think a team, if they are going to make his asking price 2 first-round picks, which I think might be a little steep, I think a team would be willing to pull that trigger for it because he's proven that he can be that consistent throughout his entire NFL career with even subpar quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it's
listen,
just, you gotta give
all I know is I remember, Mac, I'm so sorry to bring this up, bro, but I remember hearing you bitch last year about Mike Glennon. One of the most terrible memories. The dude had 1,000 yards for Mike Glennon. I mean, that's amazing, bro. Like, let's just put that in
he's
perspective.
just that good. He's just that good.
Yeah, just that good. You know who also is good? The Chiefs should pay him. If not, is he going to get traded? Chris Jones.
That is a big topic of conversation.
So start off with you then.
All right. I don't know if you guys watched the Kelsey Brothers podcast, but I know there was an episode with Travis on air begging for Chris Jones to just come back, man. Come back.
I saw
Let's
that.
come on back to the building, man.
I saw that. So
I honestly don't know if they will. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to pay Chris Jones. Because while they have the money now, I think if they pay him, it's going to screw them within the next couple of years with some of these other bigger contracts they have. And I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that. They might either look to make him a trade, or they might just have to hope that they can get him to come back this year. And if they can't work it out, just let him test out free agency.
all right, Tim.
They'll get something done, but we've seen this with a lot of teams. Somebody mentioned earlier the Rams went through it. Green Bay is going through it now. They're clear the books of everything and start over. The smart teams, as Green Bay was up until this year, for the last 30 years, you find a way to start bringing in pieces and keeping the real important pieces. I think Jones comes in before week 8. They'll get something worked out, get him in the building. One thing about players, they love to play, and he wants to be on the field. Andy Reid is probably the best coach in football right now. He's also a great player personnel guy. So he'll get involved. They'll get something done. He'll play for him this year and then take it the next step in the offseason.
Yeah. All right, Bo.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of big contracts, so they do have to keep their eye on the future. Obviously, Super Bowl windows aren't open forever, even if you have a Patrick Mahomes. So, that's one of those you kind of have to figure out which guys you can keep. But he is a huge difference maker on that team. So it's hard to let him walk, but that is a situation where you may have to look at somebody that can kind of fill that hole and get what you can for him. I do think, to Tim's point, I think they get him in the building this year, but who knows exactly what that looks like and if he stays.
Yeah. Mac.
You're muted, man.
Mac, you're muted.
Talking about yet again another great talent. The defense definitely needs them, man. Obviously, I just hope they don't go down the road or wait until they lose a couple big games, and then decide, we definitely got to get to desperation mode where they just are forced to have to bring them back in through those kind of circumstances, man. They got Jacksonville next week. It's a tough game. Definitely would like a guy like him out there with you, but doesn't right now the way things are looking. They're not going to have him for that one either. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't see him trading him. I just can't see that happen. They got to get him back in the building on that defense because clearly, like you mentioned earlier, Bo, their pass rush was hurting on Thursday night, man, and they need Chris Jones out there. So they got to figure something out, and hopefully they don't let themselves the season spiral a little bit out of control before they do something about it.
Yeah. All right, Tone.
Yeah, think we got a game of chicken now, and especially since Bosa got his deal. I wonder if he decided to raise his price even more. Of course, I don't expect him getting Bosa numbers, but you got to remember, you just seen Hargrave just get paid. 49ers paid the hell out of him. Chris Jones was probably saying, I'm better than Hargrave, so my number got to be above that. Then you got, like I said, Bosa numbers. So game of chicken. Does the Chiefs find a way to win? and then the pressure now is on Jones because, like, dang, I need to play. I need to be a part of it. All right, I'm going to take this number, or the Chiefs losing and he see them struggling and he stand pat and they end up having to pay, like my man Mac just said. They end up like, man, all right, we got to pay him, you know, and then you kind of get hamstrung a little bit somewhere down the line on salary. A trade, no. I just think it's a game of chicken right now.
Yeah. AK.
You know, man, I'm gonna go on a whole different path than everyone else.
All right.
I don't exactly know if Jones is winning it right now. Let's look at this game real fast. That Chiefs defense left on Thursday night. They were 1-2-year players for the most part. Very young defense. That offensive line for Detroit, first and foremost, we're not giving enough credit to. They are a very good, solid group of individuals up front. Now, when you look at that game, that defense only let up 7 points up till the fourth quarter. Yeah, Detroit had 14, but that was on a pick 6 from Tony's hands.
Yeah.
That defense only gave up 7 points that entire game up till the fourth quarter. I'm telling you right now, man, that defense is going to be very nice this year. Very nice. I don't think Jones has that much leg to stand on. Yeah, they lost by 1 point. Yeah, they lost to Detroit, but Detroit's also expected to be very good. And they held their offense to 7 points.
Right.
I don't know if Kansas City is in a deep as hole as what you guys think they are. They look really good. They should have won that game with or without him. If Tony would have caught those 2 balls and wouldn't have fumbled or, bounced the other one off his hands for an interception. Yeah, Jones definitely could have been used Thursday night, but was he really needed? Not really. That's my opinion.
All right. Halftime.
I see they need them, but I mean to stop the run, because you've seen it where against Detroit, they were just running all over Kansas City. But the thing is, if they do sign him, they also have to sign Patrick Mahomes. And if Joe Burrow just got what he gets, imagine what Patrick Mahomes is going to get.
Well,
I mean, what's he going to get? $300 million?
Mahomes had a 10-year contract there.
Yeah, but they're already talking about doing his deal, re-signing him for more money, because I think he's the 8th paid quarterback right now, and he's the best. I think he's going to they got to redo his contract, and he's going to be up there.
Well, he did restructure his prior to the season, so.
But right now they're talking about giving him more money.
I got you.
It's been all over the place where they're trying to tell they're going to redo his contract where he's the highest paid. So what is that? $300 million for him?
No.
So how are you going to give Jones that money plus Patrick Mahomes?
That would make it less than what he's making right now. Well, what he was making, because he had 10 years, $500 million. So if he was already at $500 million, he's not taking. I wouldn't take 3.
And he has to make more than $500 million because he's still not the highest paid. He's like the 8th or the 9th highest paid quarterback. So
that's what makes it interesting.
It's really hard to say, do you trade Jones or do you let him play out his contract? And I mean, you see Jones just saying, all right, here goes a couple $1 million out the window. Find me, I don't care. And you saw him in the stadium that night. He's like, hey, they can't stop the run. And because Detroit ran all over him. So he's sitting back like they got to pay me. So everybody's been saying it's a chicken game. Like, who's going to give in? Which one's going to give in? You got also, ain't Kelsey's contract almost up?
It's got to be close.
I think Kelsey has 1 or tops 2 years, and he's going to be getting paid. He wants to be paid the highest. I mean, Kansas City is in a bind of how many people are wanting more money, more money, more money. It's gonna be hard for them to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. It was great. Great being on, guys. I got to jump out of here.
All right, man.
All right, good, nice meeting you, bro.
Nice
meeting
meeting you.
Have a good one, man.
Enjoy your Sunday.
Yep. Talk to you.
You too, brother.
So we actually got a question from our wrestling guy, Earl Cole, whose birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday again, Earl. Hope you're doing great, man. So which NFL team would score often and made their quarterback a star in their NFL in their kickoff season? So I'm trying to think who's going to have a good game.
So I think he's asking which quarterback is going to have the biggest week one. I think is what he's asking.
Oh, okay, that
Like
makes sense.
which quarterback's just going to absolutely explode today?
So since you started that, you got one?
I think it's going to be one of two because I think they're really boom bust. I think it's either going to be Dak Prescott against the Giants. The only reason being is because especially with them trading for a young quarterback who's looking to surpass him, I think it's going to be a week one statement game for him, or he's going to stink. Or I think it may be Desmond Ritter. I think Desmond Ritter could have a sneakily good game.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. All right. Tone, so which quarterback's going to shock today, right, Tyler? Is that what you said?
So essentially, yeah, it's like which quarterback's going to have the biggest statement to start the season with what I'm interpreting his question as.
That's what I think, too. So, don't.
I'm gonna go with two underdogs. Two underdogs. Ain't nobody really saying a whole lot. But I'm gonna start off with David Carr over there with New Orleans. Chris Olave was good last year. He got hurt. I think Michael Thomas didn't want to play last year with them quarterbacks. I think he's gonna get 100 yards today.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm thinking Michael Thomas the surprise and be right back. So I think Carr can have a good game. The only problem is they got to stop that boy in the middle, the big boy in the middle. Simmons, is it?
Yeah.
For the Titans, they block him up. Because I do feel like they can get after Tennessee. If they stop Henry, they can get after their quarterback. And I think, oh boy, he always prone to make a mistake. But anyway, the other one I would say is, for real, I think is a little underrated. How, bro? For Washington. I think he's a better quarterback than everybody think. I said it last year, but they didn't give him a shot. I was like, they really should have played Sam Howell. I'm going to see, but from what I've seen the 2 years in these preseasons, he's been pretty decent. But now we're going to see with regular season. So it would not surprise me because I don't know if I trust Minnesota defense. Terry McLaurin can get open with the best of them. You got the young boy, John Dotson. I wouldn't surprise me if Sam Howell have a good game. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
All right, Mac.
Yeah, I got one in the AFC and one in the NFC as well. I got in the AFC, man, I'm going with my guy Kenny Pickett, looking to make a statement, man, against a great 49er defense, man. Traveling across country, playing that 1 o'clock game. Kenny Pickett, like I said, got a lot of time in the preseason, man. He's warmed up, he's ready to go, and the young man showed me something, and I like what I'm seeing out of Kenny Pickett, man. I think he's going to go out there and really make a name for himself against one of the great defenses in this league. And that's also just because he's just once again, coaching matters. He's a well-coached football team. Mike Tomlin, one of the best coaches currently doing it, man. Future Hall of Fame head coach, man, obviously. And then also in the NFC, I agree with Philly Sports Rap, man, with Tone, man. I agree. Sam Howell, man. I think this is also the schedule was set up perfectly for him today to come out there against a lowly Arizona Cardinals football team and have a day. And I think he's going to do that. I think he's going to get the most out of all his weapons. And I think it's going to be a special day for Sam Howell. And it's a good way for this young man to build his confidence up by going out there and beating up on a bad Arizona Cardinals football team to get his NFL, so to speak. I mean, he started the one game, the last game of the season last year, but this now is the real thing. The job is actually his. He's the quarterback for the Washington Commanders, and I think it's a good way to get him started by going against a bad Arizona team and making a statement.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I said Vikings. I meant the Cardinals because the Cardinals, I think, going to struggle this year big time defensively. So
It could be the first 0-17 team.
Yeah. Tim, you had a quarterback who shocked.
There is no quarterback in the world more dangerous than a pissed off Aaron Rodgers. He's going to look, if we're talking who's going to have a statement day, I think he's going to be looking to make a statement. In the NFC, Justin Fields has to have a big day. Geno Smith has to prove that it wasn't a fluke last year. But and I was going to say Sam Howell for the same reasons everybody else has. I think he's in a great position. I think Washington's going to be better than most. The other quarterback that I think needs to make a statement and prove that he's going to be okay is Tua down in Miami.
Yeah.
I hope he stays healthy all year. But once you get on that concussion roll, it's tough to come back from. But he could be I picked Miami to win the division in the East, providing Tua stays healthy all the year. Don't know if it'll happen, but he's got to make a statement.
Yeah. What is up, Simple? What is up, man? Thank you for stopping by. So, AK, who's your quarterback that will sign today? And I think I know where you're going with. I think I know where you're going with.
I got to tell you, all my good ones were taken. So going last sucks.
No, halftime is last. What are you talking about?
Well, second to last.
Technically, it's me.
Second to last. No, they all hit them. I mean, I think Sam Howell's one. I think Kenny Pickett's one. I think Geno will be one. Tua's already lit, man.
One.
The only thing about Tua is concussions, but I know Tua's going to have a game when he's healthy. So there's one you haven't said that I think very highly on. Now, granted, he's probably not going to win today because he does not have the weapons to do it. But Jordan Love, I think Jordan Love, even though he won't win, I think you guys will see today that with the weapons when they're added back, Watson, and I think the other one is Dobbs.
Yeah. Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, Romeo Dobbs is going to be a stud, man. Christian Watson is going to be a beast in this league. He's got weapons, man. They're rookie tight end, and he's got a decent defense to work with him. So, if he can just get things together, I think Jordan Love is going to be a very, very good quarterback in this league, man. Not only does he have a good arm, but the kid can scramble and he can get out harm's way. And I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but in his preseason game, if you overlap Aaron Rodgers with Jordan Love stole Aaron Rodgers' throwing motion. Just going to tell you guys that. And I guess that's what you learn in 4 years sitting behind greats. I mean, that's what Rodgers did with Favre, and that looks what Love is doing with Rodgers. So we'll see how it goes, man, but I expect big things from the kid.
Quick story about when Rodgers came into the league. Art Starr actually pulled him aside because he was all upset about the draft position, yada, yada. And he told him to just sit back, watch, and learn. And you did. His throwing motion was completely different when he got in. Same with Jordan Love. Rodgers was good with Love his whole time in Green Bay. He didn't do a Brett Favre on him where he kind of ignored him. He actually worked with him, helped him, taught him, and has had kind words for him. I hope you're right. If the Packers can go back to back to back, I'd be the happiest guy in the world. But I think we're going to know by week 7 or 8 if Love is a real deal or if they are going to be looking to draft in next year.
I'm sorry, what is your name again? It's Tim, right?
I'm sorry, I'm Tim. Yeah, in Green Bay. Well,
nice to meet you, man. No, my stepson is a Green Bay fan. My other stepson's a Tampa Bay fan. So, their teams are definitely in very high conversation and mix right now with quarterbacks and stuff. And so we went over this, man, and I know Love gets a lot of hate, but I think they might have just hit a home run again, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched some of the kids' tape and film and some of his preseason work, and I swear if they did, bro, somebody in that organization sold their soul to the devil at this point. There's no way you get 3 Hall of Famers. I mean, that's a little far fetched. I'm just kidding when I say that.
You sound like my
They
son
truly-
right now.
They truly have the formula on how to make Hall of Fame quarterbacks if Love works out. And obviously you see it, and it's like Tim said, you let them sit for 4 years behind greats. You know, you find a great and then you keep building on them. I don't know, man. It's just Green Bay, they know what they're doing, and I don't think they would have gave Aaron Rodgers away if they felt Jordan Love couldn't handle it. You know, out of everyone, Green Bay has seen this kid the last 4 years, and they're not ran like other organizations. They have a whole committee that they have to answer to, not just one person.
Yeah.
So everyone had to agree to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. So everyone must have seen something in Love to be comfortable enough to move on from him. I'm just saying, man, Jordan Love is going to be a dog this year.
I hope you're right. Jordan Love, I have loved, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in. I've
Oh, you're
loved
good,
his
man.
attitude. The kid is smart.
You know what? Let me just bring up the next topic.
Okay, go ahead.
How much faith do you have in Jordan Love?
Ah, there you go.
That's funny as hell.
I hate you, AK. I hate you.
Sorry, I didn't even know, dude. I didn't even know.
But I really want halftime quarterback for who's going to play well today. And then AK, the one I'm thinking, I can't believe you didn't say it. All right, halftime, who's your quarterback?
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville's quarterback. I think
You son of a bitch.
I think he's gonna be. I think he'll have the best day out of them all.
Of course.
I thought AK was gonna go there, but apparently he didn't.
I did
I wasn't. Listen, I didn't go there.
Oh shit!
He'll be back. He'll be back. But
Yeah,
halftime, really
You got Doug Peterson and shit. Dougie P got them in the playoffs and it made him look good. So that's my guy. So
that was mine. You son.
what do you want from me?
AK, I was shocked, man. We thought you were
No.
going with Trevor Lawrence.
I
But
was
yeah.
going to go Trevor Lawrence, man, but Trevor Lawrence already proved himself to me, and he's only going to get better. Like there's only certain ones that I was going to choose because it's ones that have to prove it. And to me, Trevor Lawrence don't need to prove shit. Like, kid's already good.
And that rookie for the Houston Texans, Keen, is that his name?
Oh, the Houston
rookie?
Texans quarterback?
Yeah, the Houston Texans quarterback. Keen, that is it? The rookie?
No.
No,
CJ Stroud.
Oh,
CJ Stroud.
Oh, my bad. Stroud, I think he's going to have a good game too. And I know they're playing Baltimore, but I think he's going to surprise some people.
I think he's going to be on his back like David Carr was.
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle big time, bro.
Yeah. All right. So, how much faith do you guys have in Jordan Love? So, Tyler, let's start with you.
I honestly have no idea how to answer that question, just because I have not paid too much attention to the preseasons over the past couple of years to really see how Jordan Love adapted to seeing at least somewhat NFL level defenses. So I honestly have relatively low expectations as of right now for him. And I think it's going to be as I see him play over the next couple of weeks, that's going to really determine it. The last time I saw him was when the Packers were getting blown out week 1 of last season. And he played okay in garbage time.
You mean when he scored against our defense?
Did we play the Packers week 1 last year?
No. He played against us last year when we played the Packers in the fourth quarter, and he scored against us. He moved the ball down the entire field on our defense, and he scored on us.
10 plays.
Yes.
That's not the game I'm talking about.
He literally went down the field on the Super Bowl defense and scored.
That was
Just
the
saying.
first game I saw him come in and actually have swagger.
We shut out every single team
Yeah.
that we played. Like, yes, you can score against an NFL level defense, but just because you could do it once doesn't mean that it's an entire like glowing recommendation for me.
Right.
Bro, he just got thrown into that game though. That wasn't a game he was even supposed to be in.
I mean, you
Like,
can say
he
the
was
same thing
just
about
thrown
or you can say the same thing about Gardner Minshew. He was thrown to random situations. Let's take not last year, 2 years ago, against the Jets. He wasn't getting like any reps until that point, and he threw touchdowns against the team when he didn't play at all.
Yeah, but Gardner Minshew was thrown to AJ Brown. I'm
2 years
talking
ago?
about no, last year, and
That's
2
what
years
I'm
ago
talking
he
about.
had
2
Devontae
years ago,
Smith.
before we had
He
like
had Devontae
all-
Smith 2 years ago.
That's what I was talking about. Is Gardner Minshew 2 years ago against the Jets when we didn't really have great offensive weapons.
Yeah, and what did Walton have last year when they played us? Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs, 2 rookies that are no ones. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's a Super Bowl defense. You're talking about a defense that had 72 sacks last year, and this kid had no one except for a tight end at that point. I believe that you still had Tunyon, right, in Green Bay last year.
Last year we did, yeah.
Yeah, so they had Tunyon, they had A.J. Dillon, and they had Jones as their halfbacks. No wide receivers, 1 tight end, and he took that entire offense, 10 plays down the field on a defense that had 72 sacks, and he scored a fucking touchdown.
Like I'm not saying I'm not giving him any credit for what he did on the one drive, but I'm also just saying that I haven't seen a lot of him. I'm not going to rate him extremely high just based off of a series. Again, you can do that in a series when you don't know what you do. They don't know that much about you, so you can catch them by surprise. But once they start getting more film on him, defense is going to adjust more accordingly. We'll have to see how he adjusts to that. So once we see him play more, that's when I think I'll be able to finally make more of a better decision. As of right now, my opinion on him is that I don't have very high expectations from him as of right now.
Okay. That's fair. Mac?
Yeah, I tend to agree slightly, a little bit with him. Some things, I mean, some of the things he was saying. Because look, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck, man. Keep it real. Jordan Love, I didn't watch him that much in the preseason this year. I've heard some good things. I have heard some good things, some promising things, and I wish the young man well. But the small sample sizes I've seen of Jordan Love when he has had opportunities to play a couple games Aaron Rodgers missed here and there over the last few years, I don't get those same vibes and that same energy those same vibes that I got when the small sample sizes we got of Aaron Rodgers when Brett Favre was still there. You knew the small sample size you got of Aaron Rodgers, you knew when it was his opportunity, you knew what he was going to do with it. You really, really knew. Jordan Love didn't give me those same vibes, to be honest, man. So I got to just wait and see what this kid can truly do for real, because there's difference when team defenses are game planning for you and how you can respond to that. And it's all a different thing. And I hope the kid wish the kid well, but I gotta wait and see first before I can start anointing him anything, man. I can't call this kid a next great Green Bay Packer quarterback until I see him actually prove that on the field.
Halftime.
I got to agree with Mac on this. Just because he had a couple of good games, or and with him out there, you don't know what you really have with. Yes, I was watching his some of his preseason games where he was chucking the ball down the field. His arm talent looks like it's there, but can he get over the hump? Can he get there? Is he there? I don't know that one yet. I need to watch him play a few games to say, as a starter, hey, he is the talent that everybody thinks he is.
Okay. All right. And as for me, I've seen him. He can throw. I just need some more. And yeah, that's it. But next, here comes the good part. Hot takes. You agree or disagree? And halftime, you ready for these? Because you already saw them. First one. Jaguars will make the AFC Championship game. You know what, Tyler? Let's start off with you because you said that.
Oh, that is a hot take.
I just found these on the internet. At halftime, I was like, halftime, look at this one.
Championship game. Well, you know what? No. You know what? I'm going to buy into the hype. I'll say they'll make the AFC Championship. The reason being is because I can see the Chiefs taking out the Baltimore Ravens early in playoffs.
Okay.
And if that were to happen, I don't think there's many other AFC teams that they couldn't beat in playoffs. So that's why I'll buy it, and they'll lose the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
All right, Tim.
I think they are. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be the MVP of the league this year. I like Doug Peterson's a great coach. It's hard to repeat, and that's Kansas City is going to have a really tough time doing that. I think the Jaguars proved it last year. They looked really good, and I think they take the next step to be in the championship game.
All right, Matt.
Going to disagree and say no, only because I think they'll be a very good team, but they're a very good team playing in a very, very soft division. I think once you get to January, the playoffs, they won't be battle tested quite enough for the Cincinnatis and the Baltimores and the Buffalo, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs. Those teams will just be way more battle tested, just even based off the division alone, the competition in the division alone that they'll be playing with throughout the season. So Jacksonville will be a very good football team. I just don't think they're quite ready for that AFC Championship level yet.
Right. And AK, I know what you're going to say on this one.
Yes, sir. They will be in the AFC Championship game because I actually have it being the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars win to move on to the Super Bowl. And then, like I said, on the other side, it's Eagles versus Dallas in the championship game, and the Eagles knock off Dallas, and it's Jacksonville Eagles Super Bowl.
Okay, and halftime.
I think Jacksonville has a great chance of doing it, and Dougie P. Would be his second year with the team. When he was with the Eagles in his second year, he took the Eagles to the Super Bowl and won it. Can he do it with Jacksonville? If he does, he'll be you got to really say that is becoming a great coach if he can take Jacksonville to the Super Bowl in his second year. So yeah, I think they have a hell of a good chance.
I think they do too. It comes down to Calvin Ridley. Last year he did not play. Now he's added another weapon for Trevor Lawrence. You got Ridley. You got Christian Kirk, who broke the wide receiver market last year. So they have a really good chance, in my opinion. Really do. And halftime, we're going to go around. So will the Jets win the AFC North?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
You got Aaron Rodgers, but the Jets' defense is good too. And everybody wants to just keep on saying Aaron Rodgers, and they got the good running game. They got a corner that is like on his own island, Sauce Gardner. He hasn't let a person score yet. Like, come on, that was his rookie year. I mean, come on now. If it's only on his rookie year, can he do it this year? I see it. The dude's outstanding. So, I know everybody wants to hype up the Aaron Rodgers and talk about the offense. Their defense ain't no slouch. All the Jets needed was a quarterback, and that's what they went and got. The running game's awesome, so yeah, I think the Jets are going to go and win that. They got a good chance to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I did the take last night. Aaron Rodgers is pretty much doing what Tom Brady did. I mean, if you look at Tampa had an excellent defense. They had a good offense with wide receivers and tight ends and halfbacks. All they were missing was a competent quarterback, someone who can go in there, throw the football, and not mess up. The Jets were in every game last year. It's just Zach Wilson and them couldn't stop throwing interceptions, and they kept losing the game. They got a top 5 defense. You just plug Aaron Rodgers in there, someone who is, known to not mess up, and you win a few more ball games. So yeah, man, I think they can pull it off.
All right, Mac.
I do not. I can't. Like I said, I got to see it to believe it. I believe that they have a very talented roster, but that's also a very competitive division, and I'm not ready to just say that they're automatically better than the Dolphins, automatically better than the Bills, just because they got Aaron Rodgers to the fold. They do have a great defense, but they have some weaknesses on that O-line. They have they got great talent all around the board, but they're also the New York Jets, and as a New York Giants fan, I've seen a lot of New York Jets football over the years as well. Look, the Jets is like Murphy's Law, man. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong, man. And it's somehow, some kind of way, it just seems like this team, man. It just something happens with this team, man. And even with all the pieces they have in place, I got a feeling that something's going to happen. It's going to fall apart, man, on them. Especially playing in this really tough division that they're playing in, one of the best in football.
Tim.
Jets are the Packers East right now. I mean, look at all the players that he brought over. They're going to have a decent year. It's all going to depend on Rodgers and his attitude. I think he's there to make a statement. As I said earlier, I'm taking Miami to win the division as long as Tua stays healthy. I don't think they do it this year. I think next year, if it's going to happen and get them to a Super Bowl, it'll be next year, not this year.
All right, Tyler.
So for me, I don't think the Jets will win the AFC North. My main reason being is Rodgers himself. How is he going to do in a new environment? Is he going to go there with the right attitude? Is it going to be a similar attitude as before? Another big worry of mine is how healthy is some of his weapons going to be. Bryce Hall is a real young and exciting quarterback, but had a fairly nasty injury last season. A couple of your offensive linemen have had a good couple of nicks over the past couple of years. That's took them out of actions for weeks on end. And one thing that we can always say is that the Green Bay Packers have always at least had a very good O-line. And if even a singular Jet goes down on that O-line, he's not going to have as good as a unit as he did in Green Bay. And if that starts to crumble, I could see Rodgers getting hit a lot more, which could cause him to be a little bit more off his game. And then if they even make the playoffs, my biggest worry is what Aaron Rodgers are we going to get in the playoffs? Because he has not been very good in the playoffs for the past couple of years.
You're being kind. He's been disastrous.
Right. So for me, with the roster they got now, I can see it. I'm gonna say yes. What the hell? I'll say yes.
Of course you are.
And actually, will the Packers finish last in NFC North? And Mac, got yours next. Well, Tyler, let's start off with you.
Will the Packers finish last in the NFC North? Remind me again who is in the NFC North? It's Bears,
Vikings, the Lions, and the Bears. Oh my.
Vikings, Lions, and Bears. Oh my. Yep.
I think there's a chance they don't, but it's all going to come down to how fast to reality the Lions come back down to earth. Because for me, the Lions are just the biggest question mark in that entire division. Because they just seem like a team that's going to have a lot of upset victories, but then there's also probably going to be a fair amount of losing streaks in their near future as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to either be the Lions or it's going to be the Packers and last.
Whew.
All right.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're here to do.
All right, Tim. I'll go to you last. So.
All right.
Mac.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
My bad. Yeah, I think honestly, when I was doing my breakdowns, we were breaking down the divisions. I did pick the Packers to finish last, right behind the Chicago Bears in this division, man. I was going back and forth between the two, but I think the Bears are starting to trend in the right direction. They're starting to put some things together. I'm not saying the Packers aren't putting that work in to try to rebuild, get themselves back to greatness, but I just think right now, currently in the state as things stand right now, with some of the questions I have with I personally have with Jordan Love and just all the other young players on there, a lot of the young players on their team. I think the Packers do come up in the rear in the NFC North, but this is the Green Bay Packers. They won't be there for long, man.
Yeah. AK.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I had another stream I gotta go to.
All right,
All
man.
right, take it easy, halftime.
See you later.
Stay
See you,
safe.
man. I'll text you.
All right, text me.
Yep, I got you. All right. AK?
Well, listen, man, I am obviously in the other direction than most of you. Green Bay, they're very tricky, man. They do not pride themselves on having losing seasons. You know, they are a trophy town for a reason. They have been around in this league the longest for a reason. I have them going from 8-9 to 10-7. I do not think this team is going to be as bad as what everyone thinks it's going to be, man. I'm not saying that Jordan Love is going to be fantastic either. You know, he's going to be efficient. He's going to be able to produce. He's going to be able to make plays. You know, not just that, but their head coach is a very good head coach, man. A lot of people, huh?
Is he? I mean,
so.
really? He's had Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I think he is. That's like I said, my opinion is a lot different than most of yours. So, you know, we'll see how it goes, man. But I got Packers probably around third place in this division, second at best. Just all depends. Minnesota, they were 12-4 last year. They got rid of Cook. All they really have now on offense is, you know, Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. Their defense is still suspect. So we'll see, man. There's just a lot of question marks in this division. So
Yeah. And then Nikki says LaFleur is a good coach.
he is.
He is.
I think he's a good coach.
Yeah, I'd say he's a good coach.
I'll agree with AK. I got the Packers in like second or third. I think Minnesota is going to be good. Justin Jefferson's going to break over 2,000 yards, I think, this year. So I got them going in that order. So, Tim, give me your take on this.
Okay. This is coming from Packer owner. I'm granted a Packer homer, but here's my thing. So the Packers over the last 30 years have always mixed in a blend of veterans with their rookies that they've coming in. You look back at 2010, 11, you had James Jones, you had Greg Jennings, then you bring in the Jordy Nelsons. This is the first time they've ever cleaned house completely and went totally young and just started over. One of two things is going to happen. I personally think the Packers are a 5-6 win team this year just because of their youth. Their defense could be an outstanding defense, but I don't trust Joe Barry. He's just proved nothing so far since he's been here. The Packers could look good, but I have a feeling on, as I said, that 5-6 win team. I think Goody's on his way out. Don't forget the Packer president is here only through July of 2025, and then there will be a new president. Hopefully they'll get rid of the silos that they've gotten, and the president will get out of football operations the way Mark Murphy has been. So I've got them finishing last, just for the record. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Jordan Love he's not going to be a Rodgers. He's not going to be a Favre, I don't think. But if he's a Don Majkowski type, I'd take that. That would be a very, very good quarterback for the Packers. He's got the right attitude, but 9-10 wins, I just don't see it with the youth of the roster. if you had a Devontae Adams on the team yet, sure, then I could see it. But there's just so much youth on the team. They're going to make mistakes, and I think they're going to come up and bite them. It's going to be up to LaFleur. This will be the first time we've ever truly seen LaFleur's offense. Before it was Aaron Rodgers' offense. He was the de facto OC. So we'll find out soon. We'll know before week 8 what Jordan Love really is.
All right. And Mac, I'll have you going last. I found this on the internet. The Giants will not make the playoffs this year. That's exactly what I found. AK, you go first.
And y'all know where I stand on this shit.
That's why I have you go first. Okay, so that's it.
Listen, man. All the teams that were bad last year have gotten better. Now, how much better remains to be seen. It's just starting today. But our schedules are not as easy as what they were last year. And I even have us taking a step back a game or two because of our schedule. I believe 12 or 13 for us is very fair. And, Dallas at 10 or 11 is very fair. I mean, these are AFC teams we're taking on, the playoff contention teams over there. And, you got people like Atlanta and stuff that will be better. The Saints will be better. So it's not going to be as easy to make the playoffs in the NFC this year. So if they're sitting in third, it's going to be hard for them to make it, man. So they have a chance to, but we'll see how it all plays out.
All right. Tyler.
So just with the way the rest of this division is stacked up is, I think, the only reason the Giants will not be making the playoffs. Because while the Giants, I think, have gotten at least a little bit better, I just don't see them at where they need to be in order to make it to one of those possible two spots that are coming out of our division. Eagles have proven that they're definitely one of the top teams in the league. The Cowboys, while they haven't been making a lot of noise in the playoffs, they're still a very, very good regular season team that just needs to try and figure out their shit when it gets to the playoffs. And the Washington Commanders, such a bad name.
Awful. They don't even own that name.
They don't know, that's the thing.
Dedicated to how bad of a name that is.
All I got to say is left hand up. All right, Tim.
But it's just with their offense is lacking, but that defense is still a extremely scary defense. And the Giants just don't have anything really particular, for me at least, on either side of the ball. I do think that they're still being held back by Daniel Jones. And if they had a more competent quarterback, then possibly they could make a push for the wild card. But as things stand now, I don't think they will.
All right, Tim.
So they've added an extra playoff team, and I look around the NFC. There's only going to be one team coming out of the South. There'll only be one team coming out of the North. The West, I could see a couple. I think they make the playoffs because I think there'll be 3 teams out of the East that are in the playoffs.
All right. I'll have Mac go, then I'll go last. Go, Mac.
Well, like I've been saying, man, this team has a lot to prove. They got a lot of unknown talent right now on this team, but it is talent. More talent than they've had in quite some time, man. And just like Tim said, you look at the landscape of the NFC in general, like you said, one team out the South, likely just one team out the North. Those are the 2 division winners. Like you said, the NFC West is the 2 top teams, Seattle, 49ers. You could definitely, obviously, see both of them in the postseason. But that leaves those extra few spots in the NFC East like it was a year ago. And I'm not saying it's going to necessarily play exactly the same way out, but I know this New York Giants team has gotten significantly better. I know Daniel Jones is a significantly better quarterback than people give him credit for, regardless of what anybody wants to think about this kid. Like I said, his teammates definitely believe in him. Obviously, you don't expect his teammates to go out there and throw him under the bus by any means, regardless. But at the end of the day, if they didn't really believe in him, they also wouldn't go to bat for him either. So they do actually believe in him. And it's a new Daniel Jones, a new version of Daniel Jones. And you just watch his demeanor, him move around. He looks like an actual leader of a team now. He looks like a leader of an offense. He just has that confidence. You can see it in him. And he's got the best weapons he's ever had around him. Finally, as we saw Thursday night, weapons do matter. No matter how good you are, they matter. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes was still putting the ball where it needed to be, and I'm not by no means comparing Daniel Jones to Patrick Mahomes. Don't twist my words up. But what I'm saying is weapons do matter, and we still don't have necessarily the greatest weapons. Like I've told you, AK, before. We don't obviously stack up to the Eagles roster by no means. But I believe this team has made some moves this offseason to get significantly better. The depth is so much better on the D line. You're not going to have a worn down Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence in the fourth quarter of these football games because they're not going to be out there playing 60, 70 snaps a game. They're going to be out there. They're going to be rested. They're going to be ready, and they're going to still be getting at it. And as long as these guys can stay healthy on the defensive side of the ball, our defense is going to be a sneaky good defense in the league that no one's talking about. Addition of Bobby Okereke, people are still sleeping on that. He is a legit middle linebacker in this league, a top 10 guy at that position. He can cover. He's a 3-down middle linebacker. He doesn't have to come off the field in passing situations necessarily. He can cover. He can cover running backs, that tight ends out the backfield and whatnot. Our secondary is young, very young, and that's one of my biggest concerns because they're going to go through their growing pains a little bit. The two corners on the outside, rookie guys on the outside. But at the end of the day, I think the coaching is what's going to overcome. Like I keep telling you, coaching matters. Coaching absolutely matters, and I believe in the New York Giants coaching staff. It is the best coaching staff we've had in quite some time, and they're going to get these guys over the hump and have these guys ready. I'm not a believer, I told you, in the schedule thing because you never really know. You don't really know who's going to be good and who's going to fall off a cliff. It's just how it is every year in the NFL, man. So people put way too much stock into that. I'm talking about the schedule. Teams that were supposed to be good last year weren't that great. Teams like the Giants that were supposed to be terrible made the playoffs. That's the landscape in the NFL every single year, and you never know how it's going to go. So I believe in the New York Giants, and I believe in Brian Dable and what he's doing out there, man, with these guys. And I know he's got a better group of guys to coach up this year, and I don't see any reason why they shouldn't make the postseason in the NFC.
Okay.
Why'd you solo me out?
Because me and you had a whole talk. I didn't not like that. We were talking on the stream the other day. You know that.
Well, you know, man, this is the thing. I love it, man. I love the hate I'm getting from Giant fans right now. And you know that the only thing that I come to find out when I see it all is you guys hate me because in the back of your minds, you know, 50% I could be right. Exactly what I'm talking about, exactly what I say about DJ, about your wide receiving core, about the teams that you face, your strength of schedule. Like, yeah, there's a 50% chance that sitting here today, you are right as a Giant fan. But there's also a 50% chance I'm right. And if I'm right, that shit really hurts y'all. And you don't want to see it that way. And that's fine. I understand. Me as an Eagle fan, I wouldn't want to either. But you better pray to God I ain't right.
Right. Before I go, they just announced the actives and inactives. So the Vikings edge Marcus Davenport is out. The Saints running back Condre Miller is out. Falcons running back Cordero Patterson is out.
No.
Yeah, no, me too.
Christian
Arizona
Watson.
Cardinals, Hollywood Brown, and Zach Ertz are up. That's what it says, so I don't know what that means. I guess they're good to go. The Ravens tight end Mark Andrews is out, and the 49ers tight end George Kittle is playing. So,
Glad you said
Christian
something.
Watson is out
I
for the
got
Packers too.
huh?
Sorry, I said Christian Watson is out for the Packers today.
Yeah, figured
I
he
just
wasn't going to play.
You just
Have
reminded
they
me.
announced that Dobbs is playing or not?
Dobbs is playing.
Okay.
I mean, that kid they drafted from, I think, Kentucky.
Yeah.
has got some talent, and he might be able to step in. But Watson came on so strong last year. It's a big loss.
Yeah. So as for me, I don't think so. Just because how many other teams there are, the Giants could prove me wrong, like they did last year. So that's all I'm gonna say. So this next one, Jared Goff will have an MVP caliber season. So Tyler, I'm gonna start with you.
That is probably the hottest take I will hear all season long. Honestly, I'm down for it. I don't think it's going to happen, but I at least like the creativity.
You know what would be
Hey.
funny? Hold on. AK, Tyler, you know what would be funny? When me and you are at WrestleMania with AK, right? We'll be talking about this, and I'll be like, so, dude, Jared Goff, MVP type season now? And you'll be like, shut
I'll be
up.
like,
Hey,
"Yeah, dude, I
Oh, just so you know, I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if it really means anything at all, but last year he had 4,400 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's actually a pretty damn good season for Jared Goff.
What the thing was, they definitely had a great season last year.
Yeah.
And I definitely I'm not saying he's going to have a terrible season by any means. I think he's going to have another good season. I just don't know if he'll be able to win MVP.
Yeah, no, that's far-fetched. But
Like, he will have a good season.
Yeah.
Many people have a good season. I just don't think he's going to have an MVP caliber season. Unless
Right.
Amon St. Ra goes off for 2,000 yards, in which case he'll have the numbers, but then Amon Ra will win MVP because he just broke the freaking yardage record.
Well, and don't forget, Jamal Williams has to come back yet, too.
Right.
That is true. I did forget
Right.
about Jamal Williams.
So they have weapons on reserve at the moment, man. He could pop off later in the season, but I'm interested. We'll see.
All right, Mac.
No. And I'm only saying this because, look, MVP awards, some of those things, obviously the stats matter immensely in those when choosing people for those awards, but also your name kind of matters a little bit too. It goes a little bit into things too. And Jared Goff, based off of him just being Jared Goff, for him to be like truly like MVP candidate, you're talking about probably like a 5,000 yard season and like 40 some touchdown. He has to do something extraordinary for people to even hold him in that regard, over like the Patrick Mahomes and the Aaron Rodgers and the perennial guys that win this award, those names like that. That's kind of where I'm at with Jared Goff. He had some really good numbers a year ago, and he's probably going to have some pretty good ones again this year. I mean, he has a good offense around him, but I think for a guy like him, he has to like really do extraordinary things to really truly be considered seriously in that conversation.
All right, Tim.
I think he's going to have 5,000 yards. I mean, I don't think he won't be in the conversation for MVP just because he's that quiet guy that goes about his business. Somebody else is going to have a spectacular year. I thought they should have drafted Bijan Robinson personally, but I think Goff's going to have a very solid year when he gets his weapons back. I think the Lions win the division and win a playoff game this year. So will he have a caliber season? Yes. Will he win or be in the discussion? No.
All right, I'm just going to go no right out of the gate. If it's St. Brown, Amon St. Brown has a great year, then maybe I could see it. But as of right now, no. And here's a good one right here. Sean Payton wins Coach of the Year.
Honestly,
Whoever wants to go, Tyler. I
if
guess.
the Broncos can have a positive record this year, I would say so. Just because what happened last year. I'm not sure if anyone saw a comment he made a couple days ago regarding Russell Wilson, how he needs to stop kissing babies and acting like he's trying to get elected mayor and just focus on being a quarterback.
That's brilliant.
Sean Payton is just a different kind of guy. It's just his ability to identify problems and put him on blast, but at least in a somewhat respectful way, and try to just force it to always go back to the main topic, which is football. is such a great thing because I think the biggest issue for Russell Wilson last year was that he was too involved in his brand, and that kept his focus off football a lot more, and that caused him to have one of his worst seasons ever, if not the worst season in his career. But if he can turn around that entire situation and make that even like a playoff contender, I would say he could win it.
All right. Hold on, Tim.
I've watched Russell Wilson since he was here in Wisconsin. He's the kind of guy that's always looking for a bigger, better deal. You know, he was dating somebody here. As soon as he got drafted, she's gone. Somebody else comes in. Sean Payton is exactly right about him. I don't think he's in love with Russell Wilson. I don't think Russell Wilson is there next year. I don't think Payton wins Coach of the Year because I just think there's a disconnect between him and his quarterback.
All right. Mac.
Well, earlier in the off season, when they first acquired Sean Payton, I thought, yeah, this is it. The Broncos is going to turn the Broncos around. They're going to have, and I picked him to be coach. I actually was thinking he was going to be coach of the year. I actually did believe that. But I've now, in hindsight, you've seen all the other issues like you guys have been mentioning with Russell Wilson. The receivers have been going down in Broncos camp, so they definitely have some issues there. I just don't really know what to think. I mean, I don't think they'll be as bad as they were a year ago because I do believe, like I say it all the time, in coaching, and I think Sean Payton is a really good coach. He'll have this team more competitive than they were a year ago, and they still have one of the really good defenses that people don't talk about in this league. But yeah, I think he'll come up a little short because I think the Broncos won't have quite the turnaround that I was expecting them initially when they hired Sean Payton.
AK.
Yeah, man, I honestly can't give it to Sean Payton because I think the coach of the year is going to go to Staley over with the Chargers because Kellen Moore is going to make Herbert look like a freaking monster. Listen, Sean Payton made the comment to Nathaniel Hackett when he first got hired that it was the worst possible coaching job he's ever seen. And granted, to a point, he might have been right. But the fact is, now you got to come out here and do better than what Hackett did, or at least, do as good. But I don't know, man. Sean Payton, Drew Brees is not Russell Wilson. Drew Brees loved football. He focused on football, and you never really had to hear Sean Payton talk like this before. I think we all know that we don't believe Russell Wilson takes football serious anymore. This is just kind of the end of his career, and he's just playing it out. I don't know what Denver's going to be, man, but I think they're going to be roughly around what they were last year. They got rid of Chubb. Their wide receivers are okay. There's just way too much talent in their division, man, and it's going to be hard for Sean Payton to compete with what he's got right now.
So I'm going to go no. I just don't think if Russell Wilson plays out of his mind like Seattle days, maybe, but I'm just going to go no. Last hot take, and then we're going to go to the predictions. Tua leads the league in passing yards. For me, it depends on his health. So is it possible? Yes, it is. I don't know who would take that, but for me, I'm just going to say no right out of the gate. AK.
Well, real quick, Tim, I got a question for you, sir.
Yeah.
Because you have been around a long time. I'm only 36.
You're calling me old.
No, I'm just saying you know the rules a lot better because I have a rule question for you.
Sure.
Wasn't there a rule established back whenever I think it was Troy Aikman had all those concussions where after 4 you're done?
There was
4 or 5
something.
concussions.
There was something like that. That's kind of when they put in the concussion protocols. They aren't going to kick you out of the league anymore. I mean, they're going to let you come back. But one more big hit, one more concussion, I think you look at Tua and go, and it's the same way with guys like Nick Collins, a former Packer, who had that neck injury. You can't, football's not bigger than life. And if Tua gets one more concussion, his life could be affected for however long he lives, and I don't want to see him do that. I don't want to see him end up like a Muhammad Ali, where you get Parkinson's. So I think he's right on the edge.
Yeah,
Part of me was surprised he came back and played this year.
exactly. And the fact that he had a concussion last year, 2 weeks in a row, because of the medical staff pulling a stupid thing and letting him play the next week, and then he really got messed up. Man, listen, I've had 3 concussions in my life. I used to roller skate a lot when I was younger, and I've had some accidents, and I used to play football as well where I had some accidents, and it does hurt. And I'm going to say this, I've never had him back to back like that, and I could never even imagine what his head felt like. I will say this, if I am Tua and I have one more concussion, I am really thinking about my future and if I even want to play this game anymore. I know there's a cornerback right now for the Browns, I think it is. He just had a concussion last week, and that was his 4th concussion as a corner. Your brain is a very, very powerful thing for this sport, and it's a very important thing to keep you living and walking. And when you get to the point Tua is at, he's hitting dangerous waters now, because I believe he's already had 3. So his next one is his 4th. Yeah, his next one's his 4th, and then if he continues to play, I don't think he gets past 5. I don't see where you cut this off, man, because there's going to be a point where he goes down and he's not getting back up. And I don't want to see that on a field. You know what I mean? Like, you have to cut this off eventually. And I believe that's where we're starting to get at with Tua.
All right, Mac.
I mean, it comes down with Tua. It comes down to the health. If he can play the full 17, I mean, yeah. I mean, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, those guys are absolute burners. I mean, I feel like he had a couple of games last season where those guys were both over like the 150-yard mark in the games, like just those two alone. So obviously with the guys he's throwing the football to, if he can give you 17 games, sure. But problem is, like you guys been just talking about with Tua, it's not likely you're getting 17 games out of Tua, man. So for that reason, I would probably say no.
All right, Tim.
He's not going to. Like you, I've had 3 concussions. I was a catcher, played through the minor league a little bit, and your brain is getting sloshed to the other side of your head. And no matter how many weapons they have, if you can't cognitively process what's going on, you shouldn't be. And he's not going to make the decision, by the way. He's going to want to come back and play. It's like that old commercial. How many fingers am I? Or what's your name? I'm Batman. You get into that kind of mind frame. I hope he stays healthy, because he is exciting to watch, and I love watching him. But one more concussion, the people around him have to say, okay, you're done. No more.
Yeah, it's going to come down to his loved ones protecting them from himself. At that
Exactly.
point, 'cause the competitor in him is, like you said, he's going to want to keep playing.
But you know what the scary part about it all is, man? And Tim, I'm sure you can agree with this. Once you've had one and you get your second one, it's much easier to get your third one, and then it is very much easier to get your fourth one. The more concussions you have, the more prone you are to getting them. It just gets easier and easier and easier. So just, God, take it easy on the kid, man.
Right.
That's all I'm asking.
All right, Tyler.
So I do want to start this off by, first of all, stating how politically important it is for him to make sure he takes care of himself first and foremost. Concussions are, as everyone has mentioned, has been trying to just explain how important it is for people to get concussions and how some of them don't recover. One thing that no one's talked about so far has been what happened to Antonio Brown after that major hit from Montez Perfect, and how he has never been the same since then as a personality. Just major hits like that in general take a major toll on one's life, not just from the end of life but also looking at possible CTs, how it can change you personality-wise, how it can almost destroy your life from taking these major hits. And while I don't want to talk about injury history as well, he has had some pretty major injury history, even going back to his college days. So just with all that factor in, it's highly unlikely he's going to be able to play the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he does, I just do not think he is going to be able to do as well as some of the other quarterbacks when it comes to passing. I just think a lot of teams, especially playoff contender teams, just have such fully loaded rosters with quarterbacks that have cannons for arms that will be able to sling the rock a lot farther, and receivers that will make even just short little dink passes turn into 30, 40 plus yard carries to really extend those numbers. I just really don't see Tua doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here when it comes to Tua and his health. So let me pull up the schedule here, and then we're going to be all done.
While you're pulling that up, there is one minor story in the world of Spectrum/Charter that's going on. They're fighting with Disney, and right now, I'm not even going to get to see the Monday night game because Disney's not available on Spectrum/Charter.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Spectrum and Charter are in a pissing match, and Disney pulled all of Spectrum shut down all Disney products on their channel. So any place in the country that's got Spectrum, you're not getting Disney, so you're not getting ESPN. So right now, and you can't. I tried to bring it up on the other app because I've got Verizon and they've got ESPN Plus on there. No, because we use Wi-Fi, and that goes through Spectrum. So it's
terrible.
It's getting to be a big story around the country.
That's crazy.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not pleased.
Yeah. So let's just kick it off with the Falcons and Panthers. Tyler, I think I know where you're going with.
I got the Atlanta Falcons winning this one. The Panthers, I think, have a lot of upside. I think they could have an interesting season, but I really do like what Atlanta has going, and this is also going to be Bijan Robinson's first NFL game.
Yep.
And I just don't think any team's going to be ready for him as well.
Right. Tim.
I think Bryce Young is way too small. I think he's going to get pounded. I've got the Falcons, Bijan Robinson running all over the field today.
Mac.
The Bijan Robinson era begins, man. This kid, like I said, I would not be shocked if he led the league in rushing this year. Atlanta Falcons all the way here, man.
All right. AK, I know where you're going.
Yeah, no, man, it's Atlanta. Like they said, Panthers, they have Brian Burns, but they got rid of DJ Moore over the offseason. Atlanta, man, you got Kyle Pitts. A lot of people, they don't mention him because Bijan's the story now. And they also got their wide receiver from last year as well, Drake London, who I think is going to have a fabulous second year. So, yeah, definitely Atlanta in this one.
All right. For me, as you can see, I got Atlanta. It did take me a little bit, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a believer in Bijan yet. I haven't seen him much on the field. I haven't watched him in college, so today's the day where I get to see him.
Wait till you get a load of him.
Yeah.
Wait till you get a load of him.
All right. Bengals, Browns. Looks like Joe Burrow is going to play, so I got the Bengals. So, AK.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna ride on the Bengals here as well, and but here's the thing, bro. I really think Cleveland's gonna surprise a lot of people this year, man. We'll see though, but they have Schwartz as their defensive coordinator, our defensive coordinator who won us our Super Bowl. Their defense is very good. Watson's got his first full year back now after 2 years, so. You know, they got Amari Cooper. They have Nick Chubb, who's silently just killing everyone every year. And they have Peoples Jones, and they got Njoku, who's a great tight end. So I don't know, man. Cleveland might actually have something for the Bengals today. I'm interested to find this one out. But yeah, I'll go Bengals.
Mac.
I like Cincinnati in a close one here, but like AK said, people sleeping on the Cleveland Browns. Great defense. And Deshaun Watson, if he can get back to even remotely the player, a little half the player that he was in Houston, man, like sky could be the limit for the Cleveland Browns. But at the end of the day, I do like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and company, man. I just love the Cincinnati Bengals here in a close one, though.
All right, Tim.
For all the reasons everybody's already said, I'm taking the Bengals, and I'm not a Deshaun Watson fan at all, so I hope he loses.
And Tyler, are you jumping on the Bengals bandwagon, or are you going to be the loner in the
I'll
Browns?
start this off by saying I do not support Deshaun Watson. However, I do think the Cleveland Browns will upset the Bengals today.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
The main
awesome.
reason I'm saying that is because I do think that the Cleveland Browns offense is very sneakily good, and with Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator, I think the Dogs are going to actually pounce and hound.
That's a pause.
Going to claw away at the Bengals today.
All right. And then Tyler. Okay, do we all have to is anyone going with the Colts?
I can't even stand the Colts winning this one.
No, but I'm actually very impressed to see what the Colts have, though. I mean,
I have them winning.
They do have our offensive coordinator over there. Steichen is over there right now, their head coach. So
yeah,
I'm interested to see what he can do. They got a talented young quarterback. Like he's not polished by any means, but all their weapons are gone for the most part. But
yeah, did you know? And look who decided to join. Yo. So yeah, I forget what I was gonna say now. Oh yeah, I remember now. This is like the 7th straight season that the Colts had to change their quarterback on opening day. They started with a different quarterback for the 7th straight year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, crazy. So AM, you got Jacksonville?
Oh yeah.
All right. Vikings and Bucks. Is anyone going with the Buccaneers?
Nope.
I kind of want to because
I kind of want to
see Minnesota lose to Tampa Bay, but I do think Minnesota's going to win this one.
Yeah. I think everyone's going. Yeah. Come on, man! I know you're gonna do it. Just do it.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks, man.
Do it.
I'm telling you, I know their quarterback is Baker, but what's the one thing Tampa has that the Minnesota Vikings don't? Defense. They still have White, the linebacker. They still have the other dude. What's his name? Levante David. They got corners. They got a good D line. Offensively, they have 2 good wide receivers in Evans and Godwin. White's their halfback. Their offensive line isn't too bad. I think Tampa gets this one, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Give them a better chance if they was at home, but not in that dome up in Minnesota, bro. I can't.
We'll see. We'll see. It's about Minnesota's defense, man. I'm not telling. It's not much about their offense.
Yeah. Tim, I guess you're going with the Vikings.
Vikings all the way in that dome. A tough place to play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. Next.
God, I hope I'm right.
Titans and the Saints. I got the Titans. Anyone going? I bet a couple of you are going Saints.
I'm going to go Saints.
I knew it. Okay.
Is there a reason
I
why?
like New Orleans here.
So the reason I'm going to go with the Saints over the Titans
Sorry,
is
man.
I do think, well, quarterback is a big difference as well, yes, but I do like the New Orleans Saints defense a little bit better as well than the Titans.
I'm taking the Saints just because it's the first game of the year, and I think Derek Carr's got something to prove.
All right.
Yep.
AM, who you going with?
Same.
Oh, you skip Mac.
Oh, I'm Mac. I'm sorry.
I'm going with the Saints one.
No,
on
I'm
this
just
one.
saying, like Saints.
Saints.
Go ahead further.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, man. The Saints, just for the reason, like I think, expect a big day out of Derek Carr, expect a big day out of Michael Thomas, and I just like what the Saints are doing, man. I like the Saints in that they're playing a suspect division down there in the NFC South, and I think they're the best team in it, and they get their season kicked off with a win against
I think the
Tennessee, who I
defense
think is
is gonna
definitely
win this
trending
one.
the wrong way.
All right.
Well, Mitch, you know what, man? I will be the lone go with you with Tennessee here. I do like what the Saints have. You know, I do think Carr is a far better quarterback than what they've been working with over the last couple of years. They are going in without Kamara and their other halfback, but you know what? The Titans, they have D-Hop.
Yep.
They got Henry. They got Traylon Burke in his second year, who's going to be good. And their tight end isn't that bad. They have a pretty good defense. I like Tennessee in this matchup. It's going to be a close game, but I'll take Tennessee with you, bud.
All right. There we go. Niners and Steelers.
Oh, this is my upset.
This is my upset. All right. I'm going with the Niners. George Kittle is playing. The Saints defense is that good. It's probably the best defense in the league. But I believe if Kittle wasn't playing, that would still hinder him a little bit. And Brock Purdy, I know, but they got McCaffrey. They got Debo. I'm going Niners.
I'm going with AK. I'm going Steelers on this one. It's hard to win in Heinz Field when you're from the West traveling across the country.
Heinz Field? What's Heinz Field? That's not it
Oh,
anymore.
it's not Heinz Field anymore. I'm sorry. I'm so used to calling it Heinz Field.
Wait, they changed the name?
Yeah,
I didn't know they changed the name either.
I didn't know they changed it. What is it now?
Some bank.
I'll look it up. I can't remember either, but it's not Heinz Field.
Oh,
It will
wait,
always
you're
be
telling-
Heinz
Wait a
Field.
minute. Wait a minute. You're telling me they got rid of the catch-up end zone?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was dope.
It's called Accuracy Stadium. I can't Accuracy. Accuracy.
You mean
Sounds like a
accuracy?
pharmaceutical company.
Oh man, that sucks, dude. That Heinz ketchup end zones thing was awesome, dude. The two, yeah.
Accusure. You got to do two R's at a time. Accurasure.
Bro, it's 12 o'clock. Don't hurt yourself.
You got to get an aneurysm right here saying that word, man.
Yeah. Don't.
What is Accurasure?
Who the hell knows?
It's
But we
like,
gotta move on.
I'm taking the
Let's move on,
Steelers, by the
fellas.
way.
Yeah.
It's
any-
a banking firm or it's a
It's
what's it called?
Cybernetic Insurance Company.
Oh fuck me.
A financial technology insurance company to ensure that your privacy is kept. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
So that way you don't lose millions of dollars when someone steals all your accounts. You pay them back, I guess.
All right, Mac, you're going with the Steelers, right? I thought that's what you said.
No, I did not.
Okay, my bad.
do agree that it's a tough task to ask a West Coast team to come across the country, play a 1 o'clock game in that 1 o'clock time slot, but I think the Niners still find a way to squeak this one out. I don't think they cover the spread. I like the Steelers with the point spread, but I don't think they get the win. I think the Niners still get the W.
Do I even have to say it?
The Washington football team.
Watch the Cardinals win, though.
Let's go
no,
Cardinals!
Stop it. The Cardinals,
I can't.
they've already given up on the season already
No, but
before it
it's
even got started.
It's the Commanders. I wish.
No, it's
Well,
not.
No, it's not.
Go back to being part of FaZe Clan.
Well, let's just say this. Can I
Wait,
just say
who?
this?
Oh,
If the
Kyler Murray.
Commanders do lose this game, can we mock them for the rest of the season?
Oh God, yeah.
We're gonna mock them.
That's all I'm gonna say.
If the Commanders do not win this game, they should just forfeit every game the rest of the season.
Yep.
We're gonna
I
mock them
really
no
hope,
matter
because
what.
all of my coworkers are Commanders fans. I want to come in there and
They're
just
not the
bash them
Commanders.
so hard.
No, pause. But yeah, I'm going the left hand up. So, how did the Cardinals get 10%?
Because people are predicting a huge upset.
Well, Arizona Cardinal fans probably voted.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
some of them.
Wait, they exist?
Or CJ Stroud in this game.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know
going
why I'm laughing, because
Ravens.
that's not the first time I've heard that one.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens. I think Ogabo is making his debut, so I can't wait to see him play. But the Ravens wide receivers, you got OBJ, you got Zay Flowers. Mark Andrews is out, but other than that, I'm still going Ravens.
It's home field advantage too.
Yeah, anyone going with the Texans?
Nah, man, I'm with you.
Can I get like one of those crickets that AK used to have in his garage back in the day? Right now, when we had silence. Remember the cricket the 1 year ago? Does anybody remember that? And we'd be doing these, and the cricket would just be going off.
Yeah. No, listen, I retired Jiminy a long time ago. Okay?
I remember in his place.
I retired Jiminy.
No, but
I
listen,
missed
man.
that, though.
Hashtag bring back Jiminy.
I'm with everyone here. Poor CJ Stroud. He's going to get wrecked with this Baltimore defense. But Mark Andrews is a big missing piece, but they'll be able to handle the business. But I also do know, too, that if either OBJ or Lamar goes down, that is their entire offense. So let's just hope those two seasoned veterans stay healthy.
You mean you don't have faith in Zay Flowers?
Bro, I don't have
They got a
faith
couple
in
other guys.
and I don't have faith in small, flashy receivers, man. It's been proven time and time again they don't work out. Very few do. Dante Hall and Tyreek Hill, they're mainly your two prime examples. But I mean, John Ross, for the Bengals back in the day, burner, never really worked out. Devin Hester's a prime example. He was a great punt returner, but he wasn't such a great receiver. And he was fast. I mean, there's so many. Marquise Brown. Like, dude, speed isn't everything. You got to have the hands to go with it. So I got to see Zay before I just say that.
I think Baltimore's got a couple other pieces, though. I think you got Rashad Bateman. He is what he is, but he's a good possession receiver and can make some plays for him. And that offense, and also the Ravens. What's cool about the Ravens' offense is going to be this season is that they don't have to rely. They're not have to rely on the passing game at all. They can always lean on that run game as well. I think look for J.K. Dobbins to have a huge game today. So if you got him in your fantasy team, definitely make sure J.K. Dobbins is in your lineup.
No, I asked an honest question. How the hell did Baltimore find 3 Lamar Jacksons?
Right?
Like, has anyone noticed that when Lamar goes down, their backups even look like him?
Well, I mean, a lot of teams try to get backups that are like have a skill
No, but
set
they all
similar to their
perform the
starters.
same way.
I mean, the Eagles
Yeah.
try to do that. They try to
No,
do it with
man. But these guys can run though. Like, who's their backup? What's his face? He's really good, man.
Yeah, the one that made the Pro Bowl last year.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing though. Like, what's the odds that you can find 3 of them? That's insane.
I forget his name. It's gonna bother me.
And he makes them work. Harbaugh's a beast, man.
Yep. All right. Bears, Packers.
The Bears.
I'm going Bears. I think AK's going Packers, but
I'm forced to go with the Bears because Watson's out. If he had all his weapons and I might be able to risk the biscuit, but not today.
I'm going Bears. Khalil
I'm
Herbert's
gonna
gonna have a day.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Jordan Love of the Packers because he wished the Packers a happy Father's Day. And I think
The chant of "Who's your daddy" is going to be heard all over that field today.
oh my god, it's gonna be hilarious.
I'm taking the Packers only because I'm a homer. I don't think they're going to win.
Well,
I
then
have a
I'm
question real
switching my pick, man. I'm switching my pick. I'm going Green Bay. Then. I'm not.
I need a guys. I got to ask you a fantasy question real quick. I have Joe Mixon in as running back, but on my bench I have James Conner. Should I replace Joe Mixon with James Conner, who actually James Conner has better projected stats this game though than Mixon?
Don't do it.
Absolutely not.
Actually, wait, who's your opponent?
My opponent. Who's the rebounders?
That's halftime.
Oh, that's right. I'm facing him in both fantasies.
All right, do it.
Hey, Tim.
Do it for the memes.
Tim, I got a question for you real fast since we're on this game. What do you think about Reed, the wide receiver?
He's looked good. I think he's going to, he's a kid that came in, has got the right attitude. I think he's going to surprise some people. And I think he's going to do very well replacing a Christian Watson today.
Okay. I felt the same way. I just wanted your take.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been impressed with him.
Yep.
Broncos and the Raiders at Denver. I'm going Denver.
Raiders.
I'm going Raiders.
Going Raiders?
Yes.
What? After everything you said last year. It's like, I'm done with the Raiders, man. I'm done with the Raiders. I'm done with the Raiders.
That was last year. This is a different year, homie.
Garoppolo is going to have a great day.
I got picks in.
I'm going Denver.
I like Denver here as well.
I might have to go Raiders. Jerry Jeudy is out.
I like Denver still. I think the defense wins them this game.
I just don't think Sean Payton likes Russell Wilson. That's going to be fun to watch this year.
Yeah.
Listen, that's why I went Raiders. I knew Eric was watching. See, look at him. He's down. I knew it.
I didn't even know he was there. What's up, man?
See? I know things.
Wait. I know I wasn't here because I joined in. What is y'all's take on that Falcons-Panthers game?
Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
Now, Robinson's going to be something to watch. That's for sure.
Clean sweep. Everyone going Eagles here?
Only by 102
absolutely.
points.
This is my lock of the week. The damn line on this game is disrespectful. I still can't figure out how it's so low.
Wow.
Yeah, what is it? 4.5?
Yeah.
Wait, did we miss a game? Did I just miss something? What did you guys pick for the Raiders versus Broncos game?
Raiders,
but he picked Broncos.
I picked the Raiders.
The Broncos too.
Yeah, me and Matt.
I'm thinking about doing the Broncos.
Then do the Broncos.
then do it.
Now, I had originally the Raiders.
Hey, man, one thing I've learned, always follow your gut. Always follow your first instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Yep.
I picked the Raiders.
Then that's probably who you should go with.
Chargers.
And then-
Dolphins. Oh, wait.
Okay, so I'm all caught up now, so continue. I'm sorry.
Chargers, Dolphins.
This is going to be a good game, man.
This
Yeah.
is going to be high scoring.
I'm going Chargers.
Chargers.
I'm going Chargers. I think Herbert's going to have a big year.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like Miami here, man. I like Miami here. I'm sorry. I just think they travel over there to LA. I think they take the high-powered offense. I think Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle do some crazy things to that Charger defense, man. And I think sometimes with the Chargers, like you got to get out your own head a little bit, the psyche. I mean, you obviously know the talent they have on their squad, but Justin Herbert's one of the best young quarterbacks in the league for sure. But when you lose a playoff game the way they did back in January, sometimes that can just have a way of sticking with you, man. And I like the Miami Dolphins here.
Eric, that's the homer in you, dog. Don't be doing that.
I'm flip a coin here.
No, man. Dolphins have one hell of a chance. This could easily be a 3-point game to end it. I just think Kellen Moore is going to change that offense for the Chargers, man. Something they've been missing the last 3 years, and I think Kellen is going to be the reason they get to the playoffs. There's no reason Herbert can't get over 5,000 yards passing this year. So I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one.
Tyler, did you pick the Chargers?
I'm gonna pick Miami.
Oh wow.
I'm
really
picking
thought you
Miami.
were
I
gonna pick the
think
Chargers.
I think Tua's gonna be trying to make a statement in this game, and I think Tyreek and Jalen Waddle are gonna try and feast today.
All right. There we go. So the next one. Hold on. Seahawks and the Rams. No Cooper Cup. He's out for 4 weeks
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
because he's on the PUP list or whatever.
He's on the short-term IR.
Short-term IR, yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, I really like Seattle this year. I mean, if Geno comes out and has an even similar season to what he did last year, with the addition of Charbonnet and having Kenneth Walker and Jackson Smith-Njigba. Listen, I actually have Seattle coming out better than the 49ers. This team is very young. They have a very good defense. Wolin is a beast over there. They brought back Bobby Wagner. That defensive front is stout. This team is good, dude. They are really good. And
the other half of Sports Talk with Dad is in here now, and he's rolling his eyes.
That's okay, man. I'm telling you, I think Seattle's going to be another threat again this year. So I'm on with Seattle.
Back.
I'm taking Seattle only because it's a home game and Cup is out.
I agree. Taking
guys-
Seattle for the exact same reason. Just don't see the Rams having a chance up there in Seattle.
Tyler?
I'm gonna go Seahawks there.
Here we go. Cowboys, Giants.
I got the Cowboys.
I'm
See,
rooting for. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm rooting for McCarthy this year, so I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, this is the only damn you Cowboys, but I got
I'm trying to remember what was the game last year with the Cowboys.
Obviously. Go ahead. What'd you say further?
I was gonna say, what was the game like at MetLife last year? I'm trying to remember that score.
The one at MetLife is the one they pretty much they dominate. That's the one where on Monday night Marcus Lawrence had like 3 sacks, just destroyed Evan Neal, made him look like an absolute turnstile out there.
But you guys kept in there. It wasn't a complete annihilation.
No, not that game. We did not. That was not that game. The Cowboys absolutely dominated us in that game. We're much more competitive on Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow. No, Rashard Penny. It looks like he's a healthy scratch today. All right. There you go.
But y'all know where I stand here. I told you how I feel. New York Giants make a statement tonight.
Was it the 23 verse 16? Was that?
Oh, I got the Jets here. I thought
It was
I had the
September 20. No, September 27, 2022.
Bills. I don't know.
Was that at MetLife? I gotta look up.
It was the third week of the season at MetLife Stadium against the Cowboys on Monday Night Football last year. It's the game where Sterling Shepard tore his ACL last year. That was that game.
Yeah, so it was
tore
very
his ACL
close.
on the last play of the game.
It was very close game. Remember, it was 23-16. I remember watching that game completely.
It wasn't as close as the score indicated. Trust me, I watched that game. I know it was not as close as the score indicated.
Yeah.
All right. Last game. Bills, Jets.
There's an angry Aaron Rodgers with a chip on his shoulder. That's a very dangerous team. It's going to depend on the Jets' offensive line. I think the Bills win.
I got the Jets just because of Von Miller being out. So that's a huge piece. So I'm going with the Jets.
By the way, I have the Bills missing the playoffs this year.
Oof, that's another hot take. I like
every year, 62 teams are in, 6 are out. I think the Bills take a big step backwards this year, but I do think they'll rise up for this game.
If the Bills miss the playoffs, bro, the flames for Josh Allen are gone.
Yeah. I think
that's fair.
The window is closed.
Well, I like the Jets here. I mean, I just like the Jets because it's, they're right there in New York City area, the 9/11, whole 9/11 thing, just
Yeah.
the energy that's going to be out there. I think they get up for this game. And like you said, Aaron Rodgers looking to go out there and improve and make a statement and prove something, man. And I just think the Jets get this one week 1 against the Bills.
Look, I
And a
love
close one,
Rodgers.
though.
I want him to win the Super Bowl as a Jet. So
Tyler?
I want to go with the Jets. I think the Jets are going to upset the Bills this week, and I think this is going to be the start of the Madden curse for Josh Allen.
I forgot he's on Madden.
Oh.
Hey, Tim, what's the odds that in 2 years Rodgers ditches the Jets and goes to Minnesota and pulls a Brett Favre end his career?
I don't think he's going to follow Favre that way.
Right, he's going to join the Bears.
I think he's got half the Packer team already in New York. It's going to be fun to watch him in the media. As soon as they hit a bumpy patch,
Wait, how do I get the
Yep.
media is going to destroy him, and he's going to go nuts.
Yep. I'm waiting for that, too, because that New York media is just, it hits different. It
Yeah, it
absolutely
is.
is
Green-
different.
Get off the PC
He
for
had
now.
the best coverage in Green Bay because every Green Bay reporter is a homer.
Wait, I opened up battery.
All right. So that concludes the Sunday morning show. We went a little bit over time, but hey, it's all good. Football's here. Just shooting the shit. You know how it goes. So
It's nice meeting you, too, by the way, Tim.
Hey, nice
Yeah.
meeting you too. And if I think you guys want to work together, just reach out to me. I'd love to have you on.
Tim,
Yeah.
let
Yes, sir.
everyone know where they can find you, and I'm about to put your link up in the chat again. So,
Okay, I'm at Sports Talk. That's my Twitter handle there. Sports Talk with Dad at gmail.com and on YouTube, Sports Talk with Dad.
there you go. And you just hit 60,000, right?
65.
65. Wow. Congrats on that.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Hey,
Uh,
it's been a fun ride. Kyle's more responsible than I am for it, but it's been a fun show and people seem to like it.
Yeah. So, anyone got anything last to say before we head on out? And let the people know where they can find you. And, yeah. So, whoever wants to go.
Just enjoy football for opening Sunday. Just enjoy it, man. Sit back, kick back, do whatever you do, and enjoy some good football. We got some good games on the slate today, man. So it's a good opening week. Have fun, enjoy it, man. You know where you can find me, Mac the Giants fan, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any other social media. It's always going to be Mac the Giants fan, the way you see it spelled on the screen right here. Check out my True Blue preview that I just dropped yesterday, previewing the Giants-Dallas Cowboys game. And don't forget to tune in after the game, immediately following the game, even tonight about midnight. It'll probably be like around midnight. I'm still going live with my True Blue Aftermath immediately following the game. So make sure y'all tune in.
Cool.
All right. AM.
Thanks for everyone. I hope everyone has the most excellent day. I hope your team wins. I hope everything's awesome. I hope you all have good food. You can find me on Twitter, Further AM, or you can find me on YouTube, Further AM. Pretty easy to find. Go Birds.
All right. And AK.
Yeah, first and foremost, man, I want to thank each and every one of you for all your hard work and all your contribution to the Hardcore Sports Network. This network is nothing without each and every one of you. Some people don't realize how much time and effort it takes away from our families to do this. And, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart to all you guys for everything. This network is going up pretty big, fast, and we're growing each and every day, and you guys make it possible. So I want to thank each and every one of you. And it's going to be a good football season this year, man. Very interested to see a lot of teams and a lot of young players. So let's all sit back, enjoy week 1, and we got a lot to talk about next week. So thank you.
All right. And,
Hey, everybody.
All right. Tyler, what about you? Sports
Mainly just a lot of what other people said, appreciate everyone being here. Thank you guys for watching the podcast show, however you want to spin it. May your favorite team win, as long as it's not the Giants and or Cowboys. Let's just make them tie. Just let them tie.
Don't wish that on us.
They're evil, Tyler.
Good luck to everyone in your favorite team. May all the games be entertaining to watch and not just blowouts. And just remember to hit that little like button. Maybe subscribe if you enjoy the content. And trying to watch some more of our content if you enjoy it.
Yeah, and don't worry, Tyler and I will be back with Sports Chat. I don't know, Tyler. What the hell is wrong with us?
Fellas, I'm gonna appreciate y'all, man.
All right.
Yes.
Yep. See you, Mac. And on that note, guys, we are out. Have a good one and go Birds.